Why do you need State Farm Renter's Insurance? Because it helps protect the stuff landlords don't. Like your furniture when it gets drenched by a broken pipe, or when a burglar makes off with your new laptop. Your stuff is worth it. And for pennies a day, you can make sure it's protected with State Farm Renter's Insurance. Find an agent or get a quote at statefarm.com.
Hey, hi, it's December the 10th, 2019. It's the Giant Bombcast. I am Brad Shoemaker.
You're damn right it is.
Yeah.
You damn right you are.
All that stuff is true. You're Jeff Gersman.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure? We're pretty sure.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Prove it. Am I provably me?
Jason A. Stryker.
Damn right I am.
Do we have any evidence that he is who he says he is?
You will take it at face value.
Public key technology.
Okay.
Face value. See, it looks like me.
Have you ever released your public key?
I do have a public key out there available.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know you were into that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Jan Ochoa.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Big PGP fan.
You never know.
Oh, yeah. Big fan.
Yeah.
Got a
Never
jersey.
Noah.
Never
Jan
Noah.
Ochoa.
Yep.
Big InfoSec guy.
Giant InfoSec guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Personal encryption.
Yep. It's weird seeing you guys again.
We're all about it.
Like last week I was able to hear you guys, but now I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a big
It's
TV.
not a big screen.
It's been so long since we sat in this room and talked about video games. I almost forgot what it was like.
It's been ages.
It's been 2 whole weeks.
Yep.
No,
Sure.
it hasn't.
No.
Yeah, no. We did a lot of
No, we were pretty much
Don't
living in
lie
this
to
room.
people.
Yeah. It was a lot of time in this room last week.
Yeah. It was nice. It never felt like it got bad.
No.
It never felt like it got gross.
Except for that
There was-
one time.
Well,
Remember?
well, yeah, the one time.
We were asking for it.
There was one day that it felt really humid in here to me, but that might be more about my personal health than...
We had some good airflow.
Yeah. It was fairly well ventilated, I would say.
Yeah.
I didn't notice until the very last day that is kind of on its last legs of hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's that
Oh, yeah.
foam up there that's
It's kind of been that way for a
been
bit.
dangling for a while.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there were 3 points connected for a long time, then just 2. So here we are,
Hopefully it won't cause
waiting for it to fall on Ben's head at
a
some
lot
point.
of serious damage when it finally goes.
I mean, it's foam.
It's a big piece of foam.
Yeah.
I think.
What's the worst that could happen?
You look up at the exact right time.
And it pokes your eyes out because it's sharp.
Sharp
Yeah.
foam.
Sharp foam.
Our voices get 5% roomier.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
no.
is like, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know. Think about it.
Fuck.
Get that stepladder. Let's get in here
Is that
right
just,
now.
is that just
Mid-show.
straight up cardboard underneath it?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Cardboard's probably kind of absorbent too, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
not-
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not-
but I
It's
feel
not
like
concrete.
no.
The plan was to do the entire ceiling like that, but no, it didn't happen that way.
No.
Didn't end up that way.
Is that a happy or screaming fire like smoke detector up there right next to it?
Maybe.
I see a face. This plays incredibly well
Yeah.
on an audio show.
It's great stuff.
Maybe I'll take a picture of it.
I mean, even on the video, it's not like the camera
true.
is pointed up there.
Well,
so,
Like Jan-
you're
this super wide up there.
Yeah.
It gets like a little.
Jan's on the
Okay.
case. All right, I'll document it for public consumption,
great.
Great.
but I'll put my private key
The
on it.
people need to see
Yeah,
it.
no, make sure it's signed and
It's gonna be encrypted.
look, just sign it for Keybase. It's all right
Yeah.
in there. It's they handle all that stuff for you.
right.
It's very easy.
Love to encrypt. Also love to talk about news because we got like 2 weeks worth of it to go through.
One weird trick to keep governments out of your shit. Governments hate it.
That's right. They sure do. They actually do. I read this long piece about the guy who basically created Signal.
Yeah.
Like he originated all the encryption tech in Signal. He's just this weirdo,
You'd have to be.
You would have to, yeah.
free-spirited surfer dude with dreadlocks.
Wow. Yeah.
Like straight out of Silicon Valley.
Great.
The TV show. Like just
Oh, okay. Yeah.
the most stereotypical, like, you know what I mean?
Fucking surfer computer,
Yes.
fucking hacker.
Yes.
Yeah. That is some like 90s ass
Like-
hacker type stuff.
Like he is he is into 2 things, encryption and long distance sailing.
yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
One and the same.
Yeah,
Really.
two loves.
His assumed name, I don't know what his real name is, but the name he goes by is Moxie Marlin Spike.
I don't like that at all. I'm uninstalling Signal.
He is a pretty wild character.
Yeah.
It's got some moxie.
Anyway,
Is that last name like one word? Marlin Spike?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Again, a pseudonym, I
Sure.
believe. Yeah, we haven't recorded a proper one of these in 2 weeks, which means we got a backlog of news.
Right.
Also, a ton of it happened just this morning.
Yes, a bunch of news over the last
stuff's
8
been-
to 12 to 10 hours.
State of
Let's
plays and
start.
whatnot.
Yeah, I guess start with State of Play from Sony. Although there's like exactly one thing in here that's kind of really newsworthy, and even that got leaked. But they're doing that Resident Evil 3 remake,
Yep.
which has been rumored for a while, and then some kind of key art got out for that like a week ago. I thought that might be a Game Awards thing, but I think Keighley came out and said it was not.
Yeah.
If I remember,
I don't know.
somebody
I have
did.
not been-
I think. Anyway, Sony announced it.
Yep.
It's out in April, right?
Looks great.
Yeah, April 3rd.
Yeah.
So that's
Not too far off.
Sooner than I would have expected. That's like not much more than
Yeah.
a year after the last one.
Then they've got the
Cranking those things out.
Yeah.
the online. like,
Yeah, the
co-op mode.
Project
Yeah.
Resistance, I think is what they were calling it. Now it's just called Resident Evil Resistance, but it's just part of the game. It's that thing I thought.
Oh, that's part of RE3?
I thought
Okay.
I thought that would be a standalone thing, but it's just in the box.
Well, that's smart of them to realize that no
Yeah.
one wants a standalone multiplayer. Like that's not
that's not what
that has never worked.
That's not what I'm coming to that thing for, but it
Yeah.
could be cool. I don't know. It's a 4 against 1. You know,
Well, think
They've
about
always
it in
had
terms
good
of
ideas in
yeah.
the multiplayer, but they've yet to execute on it.
This is them packing it in with a game that will actually sell.
yeah, totally.
Right.
So
Totally.
maybe
and then
people will
maybe
actually play it.
and if people like it, then they can make DLC for it.
Yeah, when they were saying like, "Hey, Project Resistance is the next Resident Evil thing," it's like,
Yeah, no.
dude, who cares?
No. I mean, I'll try it, but
Yeah.
I'm there for the cheesy further adventures of Jill Valentine.
And Carlos.
Stars.
Is that the guy with the bedhead?
Yeah.
Is that Carlos?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I Googled the story of RE3 after the trailer came out because that guy has got a ridiculous mop on his head.
Yeah, he does.
And I saw there are a couple of other
glorious.
Stars members in that game, and I wasn't sure which one he was,
Okay.
but that's some hair. Also, I can't tell who she looks like. She looks like an actress, and I'm not sure.
She looks like Jill Valentine.
Capcom continuing their thing. of
Right. Yeah. Just
shy of infringing on someone's likeness.
why not?
She kind of has a Daisy Ridley kind of look to her, but
We got him this far.
yeah, nobody ever sued him yet, as far as I know. That thing looks great. RE2.
Because they were it's all because they were able to say no, this is M. Bison, not Mike. He's not a boxer.
Yeah.
We don't even know what you're talking about.
We let him get away with it way back then.
Yeah,
So now
so-
they're
I mean,
just going to
yeah.
take advantage of it.
Again,
every
go
chance
look
they can
go
get.
look at the character lineup from Resident Evil Outbreak. Like it is
Yeah. No. That's
shameless.
yeah. That's definitely.
They're better than that, at least. I am super here for that game. RE2 was fantastic.
Yeah.
And this,
What happened in RE3? I don't remember.
it's Jill running around. And I only know this from the trailer this morning, but I guess it's set shortly before RE2 through somewhat after.
Okay.
So it's going to kind of encompass the whole Raccoon City
Yeah.
big outbreak. I think it might be sort of like what happened to Jill post RE1
Okay.
Okay.
ish. Like the mansion happened and then an outbreak happened, and this is her in the city and Nemesis chasing her around.
Nemesis.
Which I assume they'll just be able to swap a character model in for because they already did the Mr. X stuff from 2.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's kind of more of that, but whatever. They showed off Babylon's Fall, which is that Platinum game that Square Enix is publishing,
Yeah.
which
Right.
sure does look like a Platinum game.
I saw some air combos.
Yeah,
and juggles
air
and
combos.
stuff,
He's got like swords and also chain-like weapons.
Oh.
And it's like
a
big,
la Astral Chain. Yeah.
big mystical-looking ancient robot type enemies. It sure looks like
Yeah, it's
Platinum.
got medieval fantasy, a tiny bit of sci-fi kind of thrown in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it looks all right.
All right.
yeah, I'm in.
Let's see. Untitled,
That's a ways out though, I think.
yeah, I don't think they even put a date on that.
Next summer.
That's just like, hey, here's what it looks like.
They'll show more.
Untitled Goose Game coming to PS4 next week.
Cool.
Oh, no.
Xbox as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
fair.
Funny they leave that out.
Yeah,
State of play.
Uh-huh.
How dare they?
yeah. Dreams got a release date of February 14th,
Okay.
Oh,
which is Dreams
I'm just going to make my Valentine's
come
Day
true
date.
on
Yeah.
Valentine. Yeah,
Yeah.
make your
Well,
Valentine.
I think they're
We're
actually
gonna
going
make
to
a
shut
platformer
off
together.
the ability to buy the early access
Oh,
version
interesting.
at some point later this year or
Okay.
early next or whatever. There's going to be a window where you can no longer buy early access Dreams.
Okay, I wonder if that means they'll bump the price to full
Yeah, I don't know.
because it's been $40.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can get in and pre-order now, and you'll be able to get in and play Dreams on the 14th for $39.99. So maybe it's always going to be that
Yeah,
price.
I feel like we were just wondering, like, man, is this even going to make it out in the PS4 window,
Right.
or is it just going to get pushed off. But all right, yeah.
Still not a ton of details on like what's going to be new about it. You know?
Yeah.
I assume there's going to be some kind of media molecule developed.
Right.
I started to say campaign, but that's not the right word.
Have they been making
some kind of story?
Yeah.
like feature enhancements along the way, or
Probably.
I think there's been some patching done, but I don't know. I don't actually know.
The trailer in the state of play was really just kind of a sizzle reel of all the cool stuff people have been making, which, to be fair, is super impressive.
It was just that bathroom filling up with poop. Great.
Yep. Oh, the poop had a face on it. That's kind of the big stuff. I mean, you know, Predator Hunting Grounds got a release date. Spellbreak is coming to PS4.
what about
Superliminal.
There's a certain key piece of DLC, Brad.
Oh,
key? No pun intended.
that's funny. Sony themselves did not include that on this list of announcements in this story.
They didn't want to overshadow everything else they're
The
showing.
story on the
I
PlayStation
understand.
blog entitled "A State of Play: The Complete Recap" does not mention the Kingdom Hearts DLC.
They had their own post for this.
Thus, I forgot about it.
It's okay.
Yeah. Feel anything?
Remind, is that what it's called?
Nothing.
I think that's right.
Yes, Remind. Yep.
Did it do anything for you? at
Oh,
all?
it did a lot of things
Yeah?
for me.
Anything good?
The shitty part is I think this might tie up the story for this game. At least
Oh,
like
they're doing that thing, huh?
yeah, which is very shitty if, you know, we're expecting 3 to be like final or whatever. But yeah, I'm excited. There were some Final Fantasy characters in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you saw
that's right.
Cloud.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those guys still exist.
That guy.
Leon.
right.
Yeah. Donald Duck is still there. It's great, guys.
I started to say I'm happy for you, but actually I don't know if that's.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't-
sure if that's something I should wish on you or not.
I don't know either if it's good or bad for me. I'm just gonna dive right back in. It's like releasing in January, so I'm gonna start the year with Kingdom Hearts all over again.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You're this deep in,
I can't get out.
you have to just follow it all the way.
Hey, speaking of Final Fantasy, did you see that they announced like a soundtrack, which I bet we could use to determine how much game is in the first part of Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Really?
I'll see if I can dig up the email real quick because I just thought about it. But so it's a 2-disc set, and disc 1 is from the remake, and disc 2 is just Final Fantasy VII.
Huh.
And the track name is for the remake disc.
Oh, yeah.
Did not seem like they went super deep.
I keep forgetting that they're not doing the entire game.
I did not get that press release, but I have listened to the Final Fantasy VII soundtrack recently.
Okay. Well, tell me if this gives you any indication about what is in Final Fantasy VII Remake. Okay, Disc 1, Side A, the Prelude, Tifa's theme, Let the Battles Begin, Flowers Blooming in the Church.
Yeah.
Disc 1, Side B, Turk's theme, Hurry, Scorpion Sentinel, main theme of Final Fantasy VII.
That's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
Problem is I haven't played the actual game in over 20 years.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't take us through
It
the
doesn't-
first disc.
It doesn't sound like getting out of Midgar is in the cards, but maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe just barely. They certainly haven't put out any like screenshots or media that would indicate that you do.
Right.
And if you did, like, what would be the point? Because they'd have to generate a massive number of new assets for a very short period of time that you
Yes.
get out of the city.
Yeah.
If they cut the story just before you get out, then that saves a whole lot of art that they don't have to make.
Yeah.
So that is my cynical guess for how that's going to go.
You're probably right.
But who can say? A story dropped last night about Sony and baseball,
Yeah.
which I had not seen
This
until
is
I just got in here this
wild.
morning. But my understanding is, so Sony re-upped their deal with the MLB.
Yeah, Sony, for people who don't remember, they make MLB The Show, which is pretty much the only simulation-style baseball game on the
In
market.
town, yeah.
And it's only made for the PlayStation because it's Sony. And so they re-upped their deal with MLB to extend that deal, which, okay. But then the fucking nuts part is that, hey, oh, by the way, they're going to make it for other platforms.
Jesus.
Additional console platforms is the language.
Yeah. And then Nintendo retweeted Sony's blog post about it with a baseball emoji.
Do you think they only make it for the Switch?
Yeah, I wonder.
Wow.
I wonder. That'd be weird.
I'm trying to think of when else this has been done.
Yeah,
where major
like a first party
platform.
Not since Sonic Adventure 2.
Not since Crazy
Oh, yeah.
Taxi came to PS2.
Right.
Yeah.
But that was out of desperation.
Right.
This is just like, hey, why not?
Yeah.
It's not like Sony is like desperate to.
Or it's like, hey, MLB is demanding that we
Maybe,
do it
yeah.
because that's how
Maybe
some of
that
these
was-
other sports licenses work. And
That sounds likely.
like,
yeah.
hey, if you want to extend this deal at all,
You
you need to cover these other platforms.
you guys are leaving money on the table.
Yeah,
And this is the only way
MLB
we're gonna
wants
let you
their
have
money,
this.
and there are baseball fans that don't own PlayStations,
Yeah.
and MLB is wanting this. I bet that's all pressure from MLB to be like, hey,
Yeah.
no, we want to cover, which is why it would probably also end up on Xbox, I would think. But
Probably. God, that's gonna be wild.
That's crazy, right?
So a first-party Sony studios may have Xbox dev kits in there doing Xbox
Yeah.
work.
the number, just like think about like the last 12 months of video games, how fucking bananas it has been with all the fucking cross-play,
yeah.
cross-save,
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
And now this,
Even beyond that, like they
like Cuphead on fucking Switch, like just the
all three of them co-signed that letter to, I think it was the FTC, whichever
Yeah.
government body, where you just saw the Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft logos all on top of the letterhead. It's
Yeah.
like it's just weird.
fucking weird
dogs
man.
and cats kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Tom Kalinske is somewhere pissed off.
He never would have done things this way.
No way. Throw Nintendo under the bus.
That's right.
Oh, it looks like Xbox also tweeted out
Okay.
Okay.
the announcement.
All right.
All right.
Wow. That's
wild.
Man, like I just
That's cool.
the idea of seeing a green jewel case on shelves with a Sony logo on it somewhere.
I wonder if they would keep the whole treatment box front
don't
like
know.
the same color motif.
sounds
it just
like some
happens to be in a blue.
Bootleg ass.
Yeah, right.
Official cover art.
It's like the Tengen Tetris of baseball games.
Oh man.
What a weird thing. That's great. I can't believe this didn't like make bigger waves because I went through all the news yesterday and again this morning and didn't see this
Well,
getting
the thing
a
is,
lot
like that press release hits your inbox. You read
Yeah,
the first
sure,
paragraph,
sure.
and all it really says is, "Hey, they're extending their agreement," and you're like, "Whatever."
Yeah, it is actually the whole press
they
release.
buried the actual
Yeah.
interesting thing.
The whole press release reads in such a business-like way that I could see most people just sort of glossing over it. But man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild decade.
It already has been.
Yeah.
Wilder,
Okay.
calling it now.
Van Wilder in theaters.
That's right. 2K has kind of basically gone and announced a new BioShock game.
Which one is this of the 9,000 they've
Yeah.
worked on? And
Yeah. So I guess I'll start with the way they're framing it before we get to some of the other stuff that's being reported. But they are starting, they say they are starting a new studio, but some people would have you believe that this group has been
right.
hard at work
Yeah.
for a couple of years now.
Or some group within 2K has been working on a BioShock game for some time now. I don't know if this is just, hey, they've got a name now and we're officially announcing it,
Yeah.
or
maybe I should just go chronologically because
Yeah.
a Kotaku report came out right after this press release that they clearly have just been like sitting on
yeah.
or close to publishing, and this was the time. But Jason Schreier said Certain Affinity was making a BioShock 4 for 2K as long ago as 2015.
Okay.
Certain Affinity being,
That, yeah.
mostly like a contract developer doing like multiplayer maps for Halo games. And,
Age of Booty.
okay.
Yes, Age of Booty.
Importantly.
Of course, yes. Not a lot of original shipped games from them, though.
When you got Age of Booty,
That's
what
true.
more is there? Now,
Just
what
been riding on that legacy for a decade.
Yeah.
They may have had a couple other games, but they were doing a lot of
Right.
like
Yes.
add-on
Yeah.
and contract work for other games. Anyway, the Schreier's reporting said they were working on a BioShock 4, not the one that is now currently in development, but
Yeah.
an iteration of a new BioShock for a couple of years, and then 2K basically shut that down and brought the whole thing in-house in 2017.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like that's around the time that I heard, hey,
Yeah.
there's an in-house BioShock team
Yeah,
somewhere.
Those rumors have been going around for a
Yeah.
while. And that is in Marin.
Yeah.
It's in Novato
Okay.
at their Bay Area headquarters.
Let's go.
Their weird airplane hangar.
Right. But they're founding a new studio, or again, may have already done so, and now they're just naming it, called Cloud Chamber. They're going to spin up a second studio in Montreal to support that effort.
Okay.
Cloud Chamber.
Cloud Chamber. And this press
Only
release
available on the Xbox One X.
Yeah. This press release very specifically says Cloud Chamber has started to work on the next iteration of the globally acclaimed BioShock franchise, which will be in development for the next several years.
Yeah.
So-
What? Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're really getting out in front of any expectations that this is coming soon.
So yeah, I wonder if this means that the other thing that was happening in house got killed, or if this is just something they've been in pre-production on forever, and now they're like, oh, well, we missed our window for this generation, so why don't we go big and do it next time? Yeah, I don't know.
That would make sense. Kelly Gilmore is going to be running Cloud Chamber. She, according to this press release, has almost 20 years of experience at Firaxis. So that's a good developer. So yeah, a new BioShock.
What do you want out of a new BioShock?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What do you?
Do they acknowledge the whole always a man in a lighthouse stuff? Like, do they fold themselves into that multiverse?
There'll be a lighthouse for sure. But this is going to be another offshoot.
I think it could be a symbolic lighthouse.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't
totally. I don't think it has to be an explicit literal lighthouse, but like, I guess I mean more. Do they even acknowledge that whole lineage at all, or is this a full on reboot?
Right.
Oh, I don't. I think a reboot would be. Do you mean like literally a fucking reboot? Like
no. Well,
Rapture. Like
no. I don't mean like a reimagining of Rapture and Andrew Ryan and all that stuff. I mean more just like, here is a fresh start for BioShock. I think as opposed to
like you could take the ending of BioShock Infinite a couple of ways, right? In term or do a couple of things coming out of it. You could say, oh, none of this matters, none of it ever mattered because there's infinite fucking possibilities.
Right.
So fuck it, BioShock is dead forever. Or you could say, hey, this is a fertile ground to tell an infinite number of stories in this vein, and they never even have to acknowledge that is the fabric behind it or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
They've been at this, for ostensibly years now, right?
Yeah, I guess it was always inevitable that BioShock was going to come back in some form, right? The thing was too.
I guess so.
Too valuable.
I don't know. I guess I felt like it felt like it was done to me.
Yeah, but no property that has any profit potential is ever going to lay dormant for long in our modern, endlessly franchised corporate future.
Right. But I also feel like there are a lot of games that, are doing that.
Yeah.
Like the, if you want to call it the immersive sim, or you want to call it the, just
the thinking man's shooter or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Whatever your like skew or whatever your spin on it is going to be. Like a lot of games have done that sort of stuff, or like whatever they they made a new Underworld. Like there's different things.
Yeah.
Like kind of pulling at the different fringes of that sort of thing over the years.
I noticed that
Deus Exes and whatnot.
Totally. I noticed that Sean Elliott from formerly of 1UP and then worked on BioShock Infinite and then the Prey reboot from Arcane, which is like super duper one of those immersive sim type games. He is working on this.
Oh.
He tweeted, it's like, oh hey, the thing I'm working on just got announced apparently.
Finally, yeah.
So he's obviously got chops. They've got some people at least who have worked on that kind of game before. So
right.
It's pretty likely that.
So I guess they're going to make a game like that then.
Yeah, be in that mold, which is fine. Like
Yeah,
I would.
I would need to know more. I guess about what their take is on it this time, because like you said, there's Prey came along and I didn't get super into that, and I feel like there have been enough games in that space that I'm not exactly jonesing for one.
Yeah, I guess Dishonored also kind of falls into that.
Yeah. Or enough games in that space that I kind of fell off of.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
Yeah, sure.
That I don't... We'll see.
Yeah. Anyway, it will be a while. It is said. All right. Let's talk about this Campo Santo Valve in the Valley of Gods business, which I think that was like kind of percolating last time we recorded.
Yeah, we mentioned it. I think
you just sort of dropped a comment at one point, but at that point it was basically like people on Reddit noticing a bunch of Twitter bios changing all at once.
Oh, really?
Numerous Campo Santo people took the name of that game out of their Twitter bio right around the same time.
Yeah, that Half-Life Alyx got announced.
Yes.
It was like in the couple of days before that.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, wait.
Which, a bunch of people noticed and started like marking up screenshots and passing around, saying, hey, this is what it used to say.
Always the sign of a good internet conspiracy,
right.
Marking up these screenshots.
Yes. Why do they always use red text?
Because they're trying to scare you.
I guess. It just makes it a little bit extra alarming. thing. Anyway, Jake Rodkin of Campo Santo / Valve. Is that even a distinction worth making at this point?
Probably not.
I don't know.
I can't imagine that they're internal at Valve going like, well, we're Campo Santo. Like, no, it's like,
especially now.
yeah.
Because the game is on hold officially.
Yeah.
Oh.
How much was released of that? Like trailers?
There was an initial release, announcement trailer.
Right.
That was a year ago, right?
About a year?
I think it's been longer than that.
That was Game Awards, wasn't it?
I swear, I think it was like 2
Oh, okay,
years
maybe
ago.
it was, but it was a Game Awards game.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have to do some digging, but it feels like a pretty long time since that first trailer came out.
Yeah.
Because they had originally been saying by the end of 2019 for ship, which he addresses in that statement he put out. In the end, Valve time makes fools of us all.
So true.
He says. But yes, developers from the former Campo Santo team have joined other projects at Valve. He mentions, several.
So that's not even necessarily like, hey, all of the people that got acquired, that came in with the Campo Santo acquisition are now working on Half-Life.
No.
It's saying
No, this
makes it sound like this team split up and they're just
absolutely.
like, I want to make a Dota or whatever.
Yeah, this is not, hey, we're taking time off from our game to help ship Half-Life Alyx.
This is like we have cast ourselves to the winds and now someone's in a bunker making Left 4 Dead VR.
Yeah. As we integrated ourselves into Valve, it became clear there was a lot of valuable work to be done on Half-Life Alyx. Some of us started lending a hand and have since become full-time on the project as it approaches launch. Similarly, some ex-campos are working on Dota Underlords. Some are on Steam, and so on.
Nuts.
In the Valley of Gods, development is on hold, but it certainly feels like a project people can and may return to.
Okay.
Feels like a project people can return.
And when that happens, we'll find an exciting way to let fans know.
Well, I mean, look, like Half-Life Alyx is out in what, March?
Yeah.
So the people that went to do that have to do something once that's done. So, presuming that's a single player game, it's not going to require a full team to support it after the fact or whatever. So maybe there's a window there.
Sure.
But let's take some odds here. You think that thing ever comes out?
I'm not optimistic.
I'm just going to sit here and shake my head and say
not
Until it comes out.
That game's never coming out.
I'm not optimistic.
That game is somewhere around Half-Life 3.
One of the writers who did not go to Valve was pretty blunt on Twitter right after this announcement or this statement came out about expecting that he at least will never work on this game again.
Well, yeah, I would think, yeah.
Whether that's just, him not feeling like he would be asked to rejoin it, or whether that's him implicitly saying there's no way this thing is coming out.
Well, I would assume. I guess I would assume that once that thing gets spun, let's assume it gets spun back up. Like, are they going to bring external contributors in to work on it, or are they going to go, well, we're Valve?
Sure.
I would assume the latter. I guess I don't know, but
yeah. So
not that Valve has never worked with any external anyone's before, but
kind of frustrating for people who liked Firewatch.
Honestly, I eventually played through Firewatch once they fixed Xbox One controller support in the PC version and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I remember watching that In the Valley of the Gods trailer, but I could not tell you a damn thing that was in it. I can't tell you anything about that game at all other than the name.
It's set in Egypt.
Okay.
Yeah. Like seemed like there was kind of an Egyptologist sort of like, exploring, who's the guy? T.E. Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
All that stuff, kind of exploring ancient pyramids, kind of archaeological stuff.
Indiana Jones.
It didn't seem like quite that swashbuckling. Right. It seemed a little more grounded than that.
I was kidding.
I like Firewatch a lot, and I would like to see them take another stab at it with everything they learned from that game. But maybe don't hold your breath.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see, I guess. But
all right, Jeff. Mario Maker 2.
Yeah.
Seems to have gotten its first actual infusion of new content.
Right.
Is that accurate? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
The co-op stuff doesn't really count.
No, it doesn't count for anything. In fact, it's negative. that they've spent time working on that mode at all and not just yanking it out and throwing it aside.
And to be clear, this is free DLC, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is all free.
This is just a patch. And it adds Pokies, the cactus guys. And
from Gumby?
Oh, man.
Yeah. Pokey from Gumby. A little horse.
Sick.
Yeah, more horses in games, am I right? Yeah, different P blocks for like a different type of switching.
Okay. Dash blocks.
Yeah, dash blocks,
like a
which
fair
is
amount
only
of
in the
stuff.
new style. A handful of things. Also, you can turn into Link.
Yeah, that
in
seems to
Mario
be
1.
That seems
to be
really cool.
the thing they're leading with.
Like a Master Sword power up that turns you into Link, and you
Okay.
can then shoot arrows and
Throw
throw
bombs.
bombs and stuff like that. So
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong. That is much more elaborate than the Zelda stuff in the first game.
totally,
right?
yeah. All that
Okay.
stuff was just a costume.
Okay.
Like all the amiibo costumes in the first game were just costumes that basically made you normal Mario height, but super. So you could take a hit and turn into small Mario, but you were still half height.
Okay.
And they were cool because they were fun costumes, and it was really neat. And it was a damn shame that stuff didn't carry over into this one. I don't understand why take it out? Why take it out?
Mario Maker 2 is kind of a strange thing.
It really is.
I don't know what to make of it.
I'll tell you this. I have not touched my Switch since this patch came out. I've
Yeah.
not been like, let's check it out. I've been like,
Oh, really?
I'll look at it at some point.
Yeah.
That stuff sounds all right, but I just, whatever, man.
Everybody I know just dropped this game so hard.
The love is gone.
It's such a shame. I was
But-
kind of excited about it.
But Link, I've seen some really.
I still have my Wii
interesting
U plugged
looking
in.
Yeah.
of people like shooting over fucking like a 10-foot tall pokey.
Yeah,
Shit like that.
there's some neat
the
stuff
Link.
with
that's awesome.
the Link stuff.
How much of that is like it just being a little bit more of a hassle to make stuff in this one than the like what sounds like better controls?
That's a
and
lot
stuff
of it.
in the
So,
first one.
like most of my time with this game has been spent playing it and then buying controllers to play it more, like to enjoy it more. And so I bought like one of those 8-bit DOS NES controllers and with the analog sticks and all that stuff. And
This is so good.
yeah, it's a good controller. And so I played it a bunch with that. And
Bought a
kind of
stylus.
yeah, and I bought a stylus thinking like, oh, maybe that'll make the level creation more like I want. It was better, certainly, than just using your finger. Yeah, I think that the stuff they did to the interface makes sense when you think about what the Switch is compared to what the Wii U is. But I think the level creation interface still sucks. I just don't like it. So I think I made like 2 levels and was like, I should make more. And I was like,
Seems to be most people's experience.
maybe I'm good.
Yeah.
So you think they should have stayed as this a platform, as opposed to
I would have
At least
loved.
the
I mean, I would
second
have loved
game.
for them to just like pull in the levels from the first game
Yeah.
because, like, why not? But they made some weird changes that actually probably would have broken a lot of those old levels
Oh, really?
if you brought them in. There's like weird physics differences, or there's like just enough different stuff to where like the trickier, weirder levels probably wouldn't work.
okay.
Which maybe they just shouldn't have done that either. I don't know. Yes, I think if they had treated it as a platform and said like, hey, here's all the stuff from the first game and
Yep.
then some. And then like here, I think that would have been cooler. But ultimately, like even if they broke compatibility and whatever, I think if just the level creation stuff was better,
Okay.
if the controls when using it undocked were more like the Wii. If this were more like the Wii U, which I don't think anyone has ever said about anything ever before, but if this game was more like the Wii U version of the game, it would be better.
Gotcha.
It's pretty definitive. I don't know. The Zelda stuff looks kind of cool. Like,
Yeah,
it's
totally.
neat to see Link full on side scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Does
though
it
the
change up the music at all?
first
as well,
Zelda
or-
totally has side scrolling.
It does
stuff.
yeah. But it's bad, and it looks weird.
Yeah, I mean that was
They should have used the Adventure of Link sprite
now we're talking.
and the Zelda 1 sprite, so you get a mushroom and you turn into
yeah.
tall Link.
That would have been great. God, they actually totally look kind of the same. Like
Yeah.
Zelda 1 Link just looks like a squat regular Mario version
Yeah,
of Zelda
yeah.
2 Link. They totally could have done that. I don't know. At least they've got a content pipeline happening now.
Something.
So
I
maybe some
wonder
new-
what else they'll do.
Maybe some
Yeah,
more interesting
it's-
stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe the Super Mario Brothers 2 tile set of our dreams
maybe.
is on the way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll get back in there at some point and play some more levels because I do want to see what people are making these days, but it has not been super high priority.
Let's see. Platinum has a 10th anniversary package of Bayonetta and Vanquish coming out.
Sure, why not?
Just on the PS4, right?
4K 60 FPS. I believe it's coming elsewhere.
Okay.
PlayStation Blog announced it, and it's definitely coming to PS4
All right.
for $40. But I swear,
thought I saw
swear
on
I saw,
Xbox.
I swear I saw, yeah, that there's an Xbox version as well. It's just Bayonetta 1 and Vanquish.
Sign me up.
Has Bayonetta 2 ever come out on anything else?
Nope.
No, man. God damn
Besides
it.
the Switch and Wii U?
Yeah, no.
That's Nintendo only?
Yep.
I guess it will stay that way?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
That seemed like a game that would not have happened without Nintendo coming in and paying for it. So
Do we know if it's Bayonetta 3 just happening? That's not a...
it's still
Is that still
announced. Yeah.
But I mean, is that another Nintendo thing?
Yes.
It looks like it might be.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Huh. Wow. Anyway, Bayonetta 1 and Vanquish, those games are pretty good.
Yeah.
That steelbook is pretty good.
Yeah, they're doing kind of a nice physical deluxe edition if you're
Mhm.
into that kind of thing.
And this is on the Pro, you can play it in 4K.
Yes, 4K, 60 FPS.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
All right.
Sign me up.
Yes.
I might even go with the physical version. I really like that steelbook.
That's a good looking steelbook.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. Jeff, any feelings about this? Or I guess I should say, have you been keeping up with this Battle Royale in Modern Warfare business? It seems like that stuff's been trickling out of like data mining.
Yeah, I know people are data mining some stuff, and
Somebody glitched into some kind of overhead view of the map.
Okay.
There's a video going around
Hmm.
on Reddit that somebody hit some kind of glitch where they were able to get kind of a bird's eye view of.
In like the co-op mode or
Of-
something
of
like
an-
that.
I'm not
Because the co-op mode maps are probably just about big enough to where you could do a battle royale on them. But
It sounds like it's a separate map.
yeah, I would assume it'd
to
be
me.
yeah.
But the bigger thing is the map they posted video of matches the map that was data
Leaked or-
mined
Okay.
a few weeks ago.
Hmm.
So and people have found like files in the PC install with like BR references and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's just for bong rips. It's a different thing. This new emblems they're putting
Yes,
in.
those
Yeah.
animated emblems are pretty good.
Yeah. I liked Blackout in Black Ops 4. That was a good battle royale. And then Apex came out and I never looked at it ever again. And maybe I will end up being proven wrong, but I don't need or especially have a desire. I have no desire for a battle royale mode in Modern Warfare.
Huh. Even with all the stuff they've done,
It's
like gunplay wise.
I'm sure it'd be fine, but
Yeah.
like I'm playing the regular multiplayer and enjoying the shit out of it, and I don't know that I need another battle royale game. I like being able to load that game up, pop off a couple of rounds, just like play a couple of matches,
Yeah.
15 minutes, 20 minutes top, something like that, and then
Very
stop.
straightforward.
Yeah,
You know exactly what you're going to get.
exactly.
You're going to kill and or die
Yes.
every 15 to 30 seconds.
Yes, I have gotten all right at that game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave and turn pro.
Okay.
Because some matches I am.
You need a hype man? I got you.
Yes,
Who's
I do.
Who's your sponsor?
What can we get?
This is
Weed.
premium
Can we
future
get
stuff.
How about Motor Oil?
Motor
You
Oil
think
and
they're looking
weed.
in to
That's
get into the
esports breakfast to champions?
What about
Yeah.
CBD oil?
Okay.
That's like
Ooh.
motor oil and weed.
It is a lot like that.
Can you
Yeah.
put- Can you put that in your car engine?
Yes.
Yes,
Never
and it
tried.
relieves all the inflammation that your car engine may be suffering
Got to
from.
drive real slow.
Gets a real nice night of sleep. I don't know. I like that game a lot. I don't know that and I tried playing some of the co-op last night because they've added like a bunch of new levels to the co-op mode.
Weird.
Was there any sign
Yeah.
they had actually fixed it though?
No.
Did they fix
Well,
it?
okay. So it is not. I'm not seeing through the map. I'm not falling through the map. Like all
Okay.
the
All right.
actual broken shit from launch seems
Okay.
fixed.
That's something.
Now it's just bad.
Oh.
On its own merits.
It's still
Now
just-
it's just
still
like
just the
I don't.
thing.
Now it's just like this is not fun at all. Like these enemies are not interesting to fight.
Yeah.
They come at you from weird angles because the map is such a strange.
Oh, that was
It's a poor experience.
yeah.
And they've added like 3 more levels to it that I haven't tried yet because you're meant to play them in order. There's kind of a story being told, but I can't finish the fucking first one because everyone quits because everyone dies because it's like weirdly tough.
The story.
And not in like a fucking like, oh, you got to get good. It's just like, oh, well, I don't know. Here's 6 tanks.
Yeah.
You have 1 grenade. Good fucking luck.
telling the incredibly compelling story of walking up to 5 different computer terminals and standing there for 30 seconds.
Yeah. Well, okay. First, they're routers. It's racks. It's server racks.
Sure.
And then you have to put a Wi-Fi router on that server rack and stand near it while the files get transferred.
course.
Because if you're too far away, the files can't transfer.
That's how computers work.
And then when the meter fills up, you have to destroy the router. So you put a bunch of bullets in the rack and then run away.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, actually shooting the racks up is not the worst.
I've just got a mental image of like hanging out in a data center with a machine gun.
Yeah.
Just hosing everything down.
Yeah. That's how it'll happen at the end.
I guess so.
Anyway, the co-op stuff's bad. So I don't know. Like sure, why not do a battle royale? They probably feel like they need to do that. Yeah. I think that game is plenty good and am playing it damn near every day.
What if they put out a battle royale and then they just quietly replaced that third menu option where co-op normally is with the battle royale, right. And they just buried the co-op like 5 layers deep.
Well, I've got bad news. Now the map has the main menu has 4 options on it because the store gets its own top level placement. They rolled out their battle pass and a lot of cosmetics.
Seems like maybe
do they charge for the battle pass?
Yes, they do.
Okay,
yes.
I'm just wondering, like,
there are free things if you
standard free battle pass, paid battle pass kind of dichotomy.
All right, I'm just wondering, how they're going to roll this battle royale. Are they going to charge for it?
I don't.
Can they make up for it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
They're honestly like take the co-op aside, where at least they've added a bunch of levels. Like they've added a bunch of content to that thing. I think it's bad. Well, whatever. I haven't seen the new levels. Maybe the new levels are way better. Who can say? I'll never know, I guess. But they've added a lot of just good competitive multiplayer stuff too. Like whether it's on the battle pass or not, like there are a couple of weapons that are free unlocks if you level up your battle pass appropriately.
Cool.
That are like pretty good. They've added, 4 new maps to competitive multiplayer sense. So like their whole like, hey,
including shipment, I understand.
Yeah, shipment's in there as a gunfight map, I think right now.
That makes sense.
But shipment's a hell of a map. Crash is good. Yeah, that's so they've added maps to the game. Like I feel like their whole like, hey, we're doing crossplay and not selling map packs and stuff like that. Like it feels like a better deal than it has in the past. Because it just feels like they're doing a better job of supporting it with new content. Like the stuff that came in with the battle pass, like new guns, that sort of shit.
I guess we can assume that the business works out for them on the back end doing that.
Right.
Like Activision of any company must have run all the numbers and are quite confident.
I
right?
fucking broke down and bought. I fucking bought cosmetics.
Like, is that literally all you can spend money on now?
You can buy tiers of the battle pass.
Okay, but even that just gets you cosmetics, right?
Yeah. Well,
is there anything else in the battle pass?
There are guns on the battle pass.
Actual guns,
yes,
like full on gameplay.
But they are. If you leveled up the battle pass, you would get them for free.
Okay,
and they're not super high level. You could. It's a very doable thing.
I see. Okay.
But if you buy the tiers, you get the gun. You'll get that stuff immediately. So I fucking because you play you pick like which character you want to play as. You pick 2 characters, 1 per team, and depending on what team you end up on in matchmaking, you're either going to be one of the 2 players you've selected. Well, I picked my asshole Russian dude who just looks like a real piece of shit, just a real fucking nightclub ass motherfucker. Tracksuit.
Yeah, okay.
And fucking denim and leisure, man. Fucking jeans and tracksuit top.
Okay. Loafers.
And they had a fucking he's got a look, man. Okay. So then they are selling a fucking pack for this dude that gives him shitty sunglasses and a shittier jacket. And all this other stuff.
They get you like 80% of the way there, and then they dangle the stuff you need to really just complete the ensemble.
And they fucking broke me. I was like, no. Take the fucking money, you assholes. Give me this. I want to double down on this fucking prick. Give me the fucking full-on dude.
The prick experience.
Yeah. And I bought that fucking thing. I felt like I had to.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I imagine in some cases the cosmetics. You know what? I don't know. Actually, I'd say the cosmetics work out in their favor, but the number of people I see playing as the default character with the default calling card and the default emblem is weird. Like no one's even going in and changing the little, the banner.
Yeah, because there is plenty of free stuff you can could be customizing,
and you get a bunch by playing the game that you might want to show off and be like, hey, I did all the fucking grenade challenges. I spent all that time doing that thing, and now I've got a little grenade. Like there's plenty of stuff like that, like there always has been. So you would think, and I feel like people would normally change that stuff, but for whatever reason, it makes me wonder if there's something broken where like maybe on crossplay players.
I was just about to ask,
but I feel like I've seen just enough players that have changed it
Do you think there's something where maybe you can't see purchases that were made on a different platform?
So I will tell you that I logged in on PS4 and saw my douchebag dude with all his sunglasses glory.
Okay.
So that stuff does transfer over.
This is such a weird future we're in.
I know.
Like,
I had 2 separate points totals. So they sell a currency.
Right.
So I had, and this currency has been in place for multiple games now. So they've been selling COD points for most of this generation, and they carry over from game to game.
Oh, huh.
So,
wow.
Whatever version of Call of Duty World War II I ended up with came with a bunch of points that I never spent. So, and Black Ops 4 probably the same deal. So when this came out on PS4, I ended up with, I had some points balance there already, but I had a different points balance on PC.
Right.
Because that currency is platform specific. Kind of like Fortnite, they do the same thing.
I'm having the exact same experience in Destiny.
Right.
I've only been playing Destiny on PC since October, and my silver, which is the paid currency, says 0.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought nothing of it until I happened to mouse over it a couple weeks ago, and it said in the description of, hey, this is the paid currency, and then in parentheses there was something about currency exists on other platform or something like that. And I was like, and I went and logged in on PS4.
Yeah.
And I've got 5,000 silvers sitting there on PS4.
No.
That I couldn't even see on PC. And I don't
spend
know,
that.
I don't know how much that's worth, but yeah, apparently I've just got that.
I think that's a lot.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know what the conversion is, and I don't know where I think that's just multiple
special editions
deluxe
that come
editions
with some
over time since the thing came out, because I never spent any of it. I mean, I actually want to know how much that is now. But yeah, like I said, there's no sign I even had it on PC.
Yeah.
If I wanted to spend money on that game,
I feel like that's
I might have done it without even
remaining wall between the platforms. That's the one thing everyone tried to hold on to.
Yeah,
it's like that and the Rocket League stuff where the platform specific cars don't show, which I think that has to stop. I feel like that's the thing that, okay, if Sony's going to publish a baseball game on the Switch and Xbox, and Microsoft's going to publish Cuphead on the Switch, if we're at that point, let the fucking Master Chief Warthog, whatever, exist on the other platform. They'll put the fucking Mario car on PlayStation.
Are there Mario cars in Rocket League on Switch?
There's a Metro. I don't what
is there Nintendo?
There are platform specific.
Okay, I knew there was the Warthog. I didn't know that Nintendo had gotten in on that.
I don't know what the actual, but I think that it's a Mario hat or something like that.
You could slap one on the top of your car.
A Mario topper. I think they call them. Yeah. Tear down this wall,
dude. Is there a straight up Metroid car?
Yeah, there's a Metroid
totally
something.
Is.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. There's a whole there's a stack of Nintendo shit in Rocket League. Wow.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So it's not detrimental to anyone to see that stuff in other versions of the game.
Yeah.
It's not a problem to see a Metroid car on the PlayStation. That doesn't hurt Nintendo.
Right.
To be like, oh, now I can see the Metroid. Don't let people buy it on that platform. Make people own it on your platform to get it or whatever. I get that. To some
extent, it's almost like free advertising.
Kinda, yeah.
If you see a cool Metroid car on the PS4, you're like, maybe I should go play that Switch version. Maybe I should buy that version,
right?
And get that.
Or or hey, maybe I should get a Switch.
Yeah.
That's weird.
They seem like they're having way more fun over there.
Yeah. That seems like a strange. But then maybe Sony wouldn't want that. Maybe on the other end, to be like, no, get your Metroid filth off my platform.
Yeah, sure.
But then they should respond in kind and be like, here's the fucking Kratos mobile. I don't know, what does Sony even have?
Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, I think actually,
is that actually in
literally
there?
a Sweet Tooth. Yeah, now that you mention it, yes, the one car in Sony history that is not a licensed vehicle.
The car from
or
Destruction
Crash
Derby.
Bandicoot car. Okay, let's they bought Psygnosis, so yeah. All right. Sweet Tooth.
The car from Ridge Racer.
I saw some people saying that a lot of the hitboxes on those cars are terrible.
They can be.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's a Batman car that gets used an awful lot. And
specifically because of
because they have a good hitbox.
That's Batman for you.
Yeah.
He's the world's greatest detective. He can detect a bad hitbox and say, no, thank you.
Apparently 5,000 silver in Destiny, give or take the kind of bonus you get for buying in bulk is like $50 worth of silver. So that's
you should buy a
not nothing
drop kick or something.
I should.
I thought about I briefly thought about buying the drop kick.
That's the one thing they don't drop a lot more of in that game is the finishing animations. I've gotten one since that expansion.
Yeah,
came out,
I got one also.
Which I think
the new season starts today.
Yeah, it does.
Is there anything meaningful about that?
There's a new storyline. It's
Okay.
like Mars. No, not Mars.
Mars attacks. Whoa.
No, it's Mercury centric. It's all
Okay.
back on the desert
Yeah.
sun planet
All right.
stuff. Like Osiris, I guess, is back in the mix.
Oh.
Like Saint 14,
Oh, right.
which
I
I
did
did
see
some
people
character
talk about
I'm
Saint 14
barely
recently.
familiar with. I think like his helmet.
Ancient Titan.
Isn't that like a Titan helmet or something?
Sure.
Helm of Saint 14, I think, is a. Anyway, the point being there is a new storyline for the season. It looks like the activity stuff looks a little thin, maybe, but
New battle pass. I
yeah,
assume.
new battle pass. They're trying stuff.
Yeah.
I'll give them a couple more seasons to see how it shakes out. I had this kind of the same shit you did though, of like I was pretty close to maxing this season's battle pass, like level 85 out of 100 or something.
Yeah.
And just looking at that buy levels button, going like, I could just get the rest of this stuff
But like,
for like
was there
15,
was there
15
anything
bucks.
else on there you wanted?
Kinda. Like nothing
Okay.
major, but there was like a new
I
helmet.
mean, you could have spent that fucking silver that you had laying
It's
around.
true. Well, at the time I didn't know I had it
Oh,
because
yeah.
it did not surface on PC until I noticed.
I loaded up the PS4 version of Call of Duty and just spent the points I had sitting there on Battle Pass tiers and just said, fuck it, zero it out. I'm never going to play this on console ever again.
Sure. All right. Let's see. Riot Games has proposed a $10 million settlement in the sexual harassment lawsuit that has been ongoing. Sounds like the court has not approved that settlement yet, but that's what they offered up. So it is possibly going to be the resolution of that situation.
To be distributed amongst the...
Yeah. So the suit,
1,000 or so.
the suit was only brought by 2 employees, but according to this Kotaku story, there are roughly about 1,000 female employees at Riot who will be eligible for some share of that, based on quote tenure length and status. So different people will be eligible for different amounts, but that
Okay.
is a lot of money, but is also going to be divvied up between a lot of people. So I ain't a lawyer, but
What are the reasons
reaching
that-
a settlement is kind of like implicitly acknowledging there's
Like,
no way
hey,
to defend
yes,
what happened,
we've-
right?
Yeah. You would think.
Yeah. So hopefully,
I hope there's more stipulations included, not just the
Yeah.
monetary, but
Yeah, I'm-
like mandatory training and stuff.
Yeah, like what are they doing to actually correct the issue
Right.
instead
Right.
of
Rehabilitate.
as opposed to just like we're going to spend some money and hope it goes away.
Right.
Like $10 million, while still a lot of money in Riot bucks, is probably not that much.
Yeah.
kind of sneeze that out, and
Yeah,
but yeah, hopefully this does lead to some actual structural change being effected.
And maybe they've started that already, but
Yeah, it's tough to say without hearing from people who actually work there
totally.
and live that experience.
it's been a little bit, I guess.
All right, last story. Got to slip this in before the end of the year. One more check-in on the Atari VCS, which, as of now, will no longer be making it to backers this month.
What? I was ready.
They're still saying that March next year is the actual like full-on launch ship date window, but backers were supposed to get theirs by the end of this year.
Son of a bitch.
Not happening. Wait, you didn't?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So
I finally saw some renders of it, and it
I think it.
kind of looks kind of.
I think
sexy.
the industrial design of this thing legitimately looks
like
cool.
Their attempt to make a new old
Yes.
Atari 2600 looking thing, I think, is kind
It's
of
like
neat.
it's like to make a thing that both includes wood paneling and looks convincingly futuristic.
yeah.
Right.
I think is not.
I would love to get
an
one
unimpressive
and
feat.
gut it and put something good in it.
So there's been no shortage of them defending themselves from questionable stories about stuff this year,
because there's
but
been like the stuff not that long ago from what was it like the designer of the
Right.
system.
saying they're not getting paid and all this
Yeah.
stuff. But I bring that up because their excuse for this not happening by the end of the year is that they are upgrading the hardware in it.
Okay,
Let's see. We were offered the opportunity to
just wait
incorporate.
a little while longer. It'll get way better.
That's what they say. We were offered the opportunity to incorporate an all-new microprocessor built on a more powerful and more efficient architecture. The team is well aware that the delay impacted our backers, but feels strongly that we made the right decision to improve the product's performance.
How much power do you need to run
I don't know. I mean, that could have been. I
Atari
think they've already
games.
come out and said it's AMD
But
based.
it's not. It's it's like an NVIDIA Shield or something almost.
Okay, so
It's
it is
like,
more than
Yeah.
Well, I
it's
mean,
gonna,
the
like they're saying like, hey, you can watch Netflix.
Shield
movies
is
on
ARM
it.
based. This is going to be x86.
Yeah. But not.
it
not,
sounds
not exactly. Yes,
I would assume it sounds like just a newer AMD APU became available that they're moving to or something like that. But they don't say what that is. I guess I didn't realize there were two configurations. There's a 4 gigabyte and 8 gigabyte RAM model.
I think around the time that person or team or whatever said the designers said they weren't getting paid was around the time that it started getting out that like the only reason the lower RAM version existed is because Walmart wouldn't take it
Right.
unless it was under a certain price
Okay.
point. So they're just like, well, fuck it, got half the RAM and then we can make
Great.
it that price point and all that.
That's
so
a pretty hefty price point too,
two-
like $250.
$249.99 for the 4 gigabyte model. I don't have a
Wow.
price in front of me for the 8 gigabyte one.
Don't need to. I don't need to hear it.
Like the one and only use case for this thing I can think of is if this works is like if it's like reasonably powerful enough and it's super easy to just root it and put whatever you want on there.
Yeah.
It could be just a pretty easy,
Yep.
under the TV like set top box turnkey solution for people that like want to run emulators or something like that.
Yeah.
Or homebrew stuff.
but up to a certain point. you
Yeah,
know,
but yeah, that
even
again-
with the power of that thing, like how far can you get?
Again, that depends on how powerful it is
Yeah.
and how easy it is to get stuff like that on there. And again, a lot of that for me is coming from the fact that it looks cool.
Right.
Like of all of the things like this is probably the one I would like to see under the TV the
Yeah,
most.
because I don't even think you would need to like root it per se. I think.
Yeah, maybe they're opening it up on, by default for people to do whatever with. I don't know. But I mean, they are selling stuff on it.
Yeah, they are.
They are going to, well, assuming games get made for it.
Yeah.
Presumably they're going to sell stuff on it.
Yeah.
But not this year. Not until March at least. Also, I didn't realize they're doing like retailer exclusive colors. Like
That's
Walmart has
kinda messed
one.
up. Like the front panel is different.
Yeah, like Walmart has one. GameStop has one, and they have one direct from Atari.
Hmm.
I'm not sure who has the
Are any of them all black, like just the Vader style?
Onyx is the one that
Or there was that
No,
a
the
back,
GameStop
maybe that was like a
one is-
backer exclusive.
GameStop has Onyx, which from this extremely low res photo on
Slam your cartridges into
GameStop.
the Onyx and
Da.
throw your guns.
it looks like the
in.
GameStop one is the all black one. Weird. Walmart's is called Carbon Gold, which is this kind of like dappled looking black and gold sort of look striped thing. And then I guess the one straight from Atari is the wood panel.
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah, I'd have to get that. I need to stop talking positively about this thing. This seems like
It looks nice, but like everything about the internals
Seems
and
like
the process makes it sound like a train wreck on top of a train wreck on
Seems
top
like
of a
a
train wreck.
dangerous road to go down.
Yes.
Stop talking about the Atari VCS. And thus the news. That's all the
The
stuff.
Nintendo that we talked
Oh
about. the
God, I'm
Nintendo
sorry.
stuff.
I had that open in a different browser and completely forgot about
Yeah, I
it.
missed this stuff.
This happened right before
State of Play?
the podcast. Yeah, like a couple hours ago. They didn't even call it a Nintendo Direct or even an Indies thing, really. It's just a Nintendo put out a press release. I mean, was there a stream associated with this?
I think
It was-
there was. I think
it was this
stream,
morning.
Yeah.
At
10,
I was
Yeah.
driving, so I didn't
Yeah,
actually see it.
Yeah, we were on our way in. And
It was
stuff,
at
but
10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay. I missed it.
basically, they just announced kind of a slate of. Thank you for reminding me. I completely forgot. They announced a slate of new indie games for the Switch, including Axiom Verge 2,
Yeah.
which I think was a complete surprise. I hadn't
Yeah, no.
heard any
I
mention of that.
no. It's got a very different. Well, it's similar look, but like a very like the trailer that's out there looks pretty different gameplay
different
wise.
vibe,
Different character, different stuff. So that's interesting.
some melee stuff.
Looked
like.
yeah, melee and thrown weapons and stuff like that.
Same health bar, if I remember, though.
Yeah.
Looking at these screenshots, definitely,
Seems neat.
another one like the first one.
Yeah.
Fall of next year for that, they say.
Hmm.
The creators of Golf Story have a new game coming called Sports Story.
Great.
We'll have golf,
I love
tennis.
sports.
This is a pretty amazing blurb. A new adventure full of golf, tennis, dungeons, espionage, mini games, and plenty of friends.
Tennis Dungeon, just like that fucking TurboGrafx tennis game.
Yes.
Or that anime.
That's a
Chicago.
golf, tennis, dungeons, and espionage. The four things that
Yeah.
all video games should have. Let's see. They announced, or maybe this was already announced, but they mentioned Dauntless for Switch.
Yeah.
that was a new
Cool.
announcement.
That was new?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
They just-
Yes.
I swear they showed it at E3.
Okay.
Like
No, I'm sorry.
maybe the announcement is that it's out.
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Right.
it is coming out today.
Yeah.
Actually, so
It is available right
Yeah.
now.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah, there were a couple of those. Talos Principles coming out on Switch today.
Hmm.
They talked about Streets of Rage 4. A bunch of other games. I mean, you can Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
Really?
Anybody?
Okay.
All right.
Why not?
Fart.
Why not?
I've still never played through that entire game.
Odd.
I remember liking it.
It was a pretty neat, weird game. I went to their studio
Hmm.
to see that. We drove down to San Luis Obispo
Oh, wow.
to go see that game while it was in production.
Seemed like kind of a long, well, I guess, yeah.
It was, I think, the way the airport stuff worked out,
Yeah,
it
it
was
would've
like
been just
fast.
as
I think it was
much.
like a 3-hour drive.
Yep.
And having to fly into whatever small airport down there. I have
Springs?
no
know where
idea.
you go. San Luis Obispo maybe had its own little airport. Who knows? Anyway, Axiom Verge 2 is probably the Sports Story are probably the two biggest things out of that, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
There's a Picross
Oh,
game
shit.
Oh?
that is a murder mystery.
Oh, is that Murder by Numbers?
I believe it is.
Huh. That's not a bad name at all.
With 9s.
I don't need story in my Picross.
You make your own story.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just look at this. It's a dog. It's my dog.
This game called Gleamlight that looks kind of cool where you play as a sword. It's like a 2D action game of some sort.
All right.
They say from the developers of Bloodstained. I'm not sure if that means Inti creates or what.
Oh, wow.
Because I think multiple studios worked on that game, so that could mean a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So do you play as the familiar from Bloodstained that's just the fucking sword?
Kind of looks like that. Let me pull this up.
Be
I just happened to click through to it, and I thought it looked
side
kind of cool.
story.
It's got like what they're referring to as like a stained glass sort of art style. It looks kind of neat. There's a character that looks an awful lot like Orko from He-Man.
Ooh. Okay.
Sold.
Yeah. Skatebird.
Yep.
They showed and said is coming to Switch. I guess late next year is what they're saying, so that game's still a ways off, but I've had my eye on Skatebird for a while.
Yeah.
That looks pretty damn good.
And play as a hawk if I can.
Yes. All right. Now that's it for news, unless I forgot anything else.
Nothing I know.
I don't
All
think
right.
so.
It's mid-December news popping off.
Yeah.
A lot of it. When's the Game Awards?
It's this week,
That's
I think.
like Thursday. Does that sound right?
Sure.
December 12th. Oh, that's, yes, Thursday. 2 days from now.
Keeley was out there talking about some NetEase game that's going to be shown there.
NetEase.
What
could that be?
Narek,
The Neti Pot?
Yeah, it's a Neti Pot game.
Any
Yeah.
other expectations?
No.
I don't really.
New Dragon Age.
You think?
They kind of
Ghost
teased
of
it last
Tsushima
year, right?
trailers.
Yes,
Right,
he,
yes,
yes,
they
he got
said
out
there was
there.
a new-
He got out there this morning saying they would have some stuff from that game.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I feel like while and it was kind of a fever dream, but I feel like we emerged from this room at one point, and I remember Rory saying like, "It's a bunch of Dragon Age shit happening today. A bunch of weird rumors, just like all of a sudden, a bunch of Dragon Age shit," and got me thinking like, "Oh, I wonder if they'll
Make games
like
again.
slide that back out there,
Yeah.
or if they would want to make good on Anthem if they can before trying to sell people on another video game."
I do not know. I saw that BioWare moved into a big new office recently,
Okay.
so they're doing stuff.
Which BioWare?
The Edmonton.
Edmonton?
Yeah, the main one. All right. Calling it into news. And also this segment, we are going to take a quick break and then come back and talk about other stuff.
Okay. It's time to get empowered. That's right, because it's time to turn your dreams into a reality and be empowered by Squarespace to launch your passion project via an online web presence. That's right. You can get on the internet and do whatever you want. You start a new business, showcase your work, publish content, sell products, whatever. Squarespace is the tool for doing all of that and more. Squarespace has beautiful templates created by world-class designers, and you can customize just about anything with only a few clicks to make a beautiful website all by yourself. On top of that, Squarespace has powerful e-commerce functionality that'll let you sell stuff. And they've got analytics that'll help you grow your site in real time. Get the numbers, crunch them. That's what people do. They crunch the numbers. Everything's optimized for mobile right out of the box. You don't have to patch or upgrade stuff. They've even made buying domains really simple. And you'll get the help you need with Squarespace's 24/7 award-winning customer support. Hey, Squarespace empowers millions of people, just like you. What do? Are you a designer? Are you a lawyer? You're an artist? Are you like a restaurateur? A gymnasium owner? All of those people and then some have turned great ideas into something real with Squarespace, and so can you. Head over to squarespace.com/bombcast for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use the offer code BOMBCAST to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/bombcast, and the offer code is BOMBCAST.
Video games.
Video
Ban
games.
them. And the playing of... Oh,
Oh,
I thought we should play them.
Throw 'em in jail.
Nope,
I'll
cut the
stop
music.
Okay.
Yep, nope.
That's right.
All right. This is now a podcast about...
This is a raid.
What are we gonna... We're gonna have to...
pancakes.
We're gonna have to pivot.
graphic novels about video game streamers. Is that okay?
For now.
I don't know if there's
Okay.
a steady enough supply. We're
We're just going to talk about the one.
We're gonna have to stretch quite a bit.
All right.
I think I've got a copy of that on my desk.
I found one of those above the unwanted pile on the mailroom. Nabbed myself one.
They sent a lot of them, huh?
Great.
Oh yeah.
Is it really just the one?
I think it's just the one.
Really?
Yeah.
Nobody else has reached that level of fame?
Ninja's a pioneer.
I
Is there
guess.
not one about like a fighting game player somewhere, like Legend of Daigo or something?
Yeah, Daigo's. Yeah, I got one.
There we go.
Must be a Daigo manga somewhere.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
But I feel like somebody would have made that out of sheer love for Daigo. Not because they were contracted to do it, but just
don't know.
because Daigo is that cool.
Yeah, I don't know how that came about.
Yeah.
To be honest, I know who translated it, but I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
What games do you think Daigo's been playing?
Samurai Showdown.
Yes.
Is that actually his game?
He likes Luigi's Mansion.
I could buy that.
I mean,
Sure.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Game's not bad. All right. Video games.
Okay.
We just came off of our Game of the Year stuff. I played.
yeah.
I played through so many games in the last like 6 weeks, but it's all been documented already. So I just kind of
Yeah, a weird,
talk about that.
weird breakneck pace.
I can't cannibalize material that's already in the can.
Yeah.
So I guess what have you played in the last 3 days?
Well, I meant to play some Phoenix Point, but
Yeah.
installed it and never got around
I
to it. But
too
I'm
installed
very
it.
much
Same,
looking
yeah.
forward to seeing that. But there's a game called Super Mash that is just out. That I guess is like a big mashup of styles of like you kind of
Okay.
make your own
think
genre and art style thing.
I think I just saw that on Nintendo's list of
Okay,
stuff.
yeah,
that they,
it's out
that they
today on the
just
Epic
announced.
Store.
Okay, it might be out on Switch.
But that seemed cool.
Okay.
I want to give that a look for sure. But yeah, I've got a window now where, especially on days where I'm home, where the baby goes to sleep about 5 p.m. and then I go to bed around 10 or so. And so that's like my prime window now.
Okay.
But also it has to be a relatively quiet window. So like I have to find other times, like I had to replace a fan on my server machine, and it's like, okay, well, so my wife's taking the baby out for a walk, so I got to strip this thing apart, blow all the dust out, get this new fan in, swap the 980 out for a 1080, put it all back together, put it in, and all that at rapid speed. But I've been playing Modern Warfare. Like I am now in the. So they do a thing. They got rid of prestige in that game. You don't like reset back to level 1.
You just keep climbing then?
No, so it's seasonal now. Like you hit level 55, and then that's where the unlocks stop, and everything after that is considered the officer ranks. And I assume you get some unlocks for getting in those ranks, or you get something. But I haven't seen much of anything.
Have you gotten a watch yet?
Yes, I now have 4 watches.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Included a branded watch.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw screenshots of that. Is it a Doritos
it
watch?
is.
That's a pretty
It
good
is.
watch.
I acquired.
Is it made out of Doritos?
No, it just has. It's no.
Every number is a Dorito.
Fantastic.
Like the first watch they give you just shows you what your character level is. So there's like but in game you can look at your watch, which is dumb anyway. But you just look at it and go like, yep, 55, still level 55.
How are you going to operate if you don't know what time it is?
It will tell. They do tell time, which seems. So I don't know. I feel like I told this story, but this seems like a weird throwback. But it's weird because it was Sledgehammer. But when
The show.
no,
Damn.
the studio. I think it was when Advanced Warfare was coming out. I think it was Advanced Warfare. What was the game before Advanced Warfare? Was that okay? So that was Ghost. Okay, so
I think that's right.
it was either Advanced Warfare or the game after Advanced Warfare, which I guess would have been okay. It was
think-
probably
I think that was
Advanced.
Black Ops
It was
3.
probably Advanced Warfare. Anyway, they had an event. They had a bunch of people in the room watching this event, and they showed that you could see watches being worn, upside down in that kind of holding a gun military style. And they made mention of the watches. And I think like a handful of the journalists present just became, because they made such a weird deal about the watches. It was this like, well, does the watch tell time in real time? Are the watches real or they tell real? And like just kept hounding, I believe I want to say it was Glenn Schofield, about the watch for like a while, just like kind of just fucking around. And now here we are. This game
5 years later,
the game has unlockable watches.
I think it's
tell the real time.
Kind of amazing.
Anyways, yeah, most of the watches tell the real time, but some of them you can just look at and just it says your level. It's like 50 seconds.
And the time, or just your level?
The level.
Just the level.
I think it might flip on a timer to show the time and your level or whatever, but you're not going to look at your watch in game. What are you doing?
I'm gonna wait for 5 seconds
the game
to see what time it is. Yeah.
Maybe the clearest example of this game is going to have Battle Royale in it is that it has gestures and sprays. Because I feel like there's just zero room for that in like real competitive multiplayer Call of Duty. But like you could do that in a Battle Royale. There's enough downtime there that might make more sense. So that's probably where that stuff comes into play a little bit more. But yes, I have unlocked some watches. So yeah, so now the level cap is level 155.
Oh wow.
But at the end of a season, they drop everybody back down to 55 if you've made it above that.
Weird.
Okay.
So 55 is your kind of permanent player level,
pretty much.
and then from there it's season ranks.
There it's season ranks. So which seems like a weird way to do it, but okay.
Kind of.
Yeah. I don't know.
Why not?
It works out well enough.
Why not just drop everybody to 0 if you're gonna?
Well, because
reset everything,
because there are
start it
unlockable
fresh.
things associated with the 1 to 55
Or
curve.
split those out as different levels.
Exactly. Like it's like
It may always make the season pass start at 0.
right.
for
It almost
every
seems
season.
like, but then that's confusing because you've got the battle pass, and it's not just your tier on the battle pass.
Oh.
Like it's not just it's a separate level from your battle pass level.
Sounds like they've got some stuff to figure out.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little confusing. Like I'm not inherently opposed to them reworking the way that like that stuff, because people were just like I hit 10th prestige and blah 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 blah. Look at me and like all that stuff. So I think working it out in a seasonal way I think makes some sense. But some of the way that stuff gets conveyed is maybe not as clean as it could be. Anyway, I said it before, but I really am enjoying the competitive multiplayer there. The additions they've made are good, and it's just a lot of fun. And also it's very low stakes. So like when it's like, okay, baby's asleep and I don't necessarily have enough time to get into something too heavy right now. But I can knock out a little bit of this.
You would not, for example, want to try to start a match of GTFO.
No.
Which kind of randomly came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Was it random? Like they hadn't announced. Like
I feel like they had been subtly leading up to like, hey, we're totally going to put this game out soon.
okay, they'd been saying 2019. Like when I saw that it was
yeah.
coming out, I Googled and all the release dates just said 2019.
Right,
so I
but
think
they had been
did-
running like weird closed alphas and just like a handful of different events. They ran one, I want to say, over Halloween.
Okay.
Was the last one.
Okay.
But anyway, I feel like they had been signaling through some of that stuff like, hey, we're getting close to early access.
Yeah.
So that's out for sale
It's
now.
now out in early access. I wanted to try it last night, but it has no matchmaking.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, it's a 4-player. Like I had been describing it as like a Left 4 Dead, but I guess it sounds like it kind of grew beyond that. It's not just fight your way through waves of enemies. There's a lot more cooperative.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like one player has to look at a terminal and then
Yeah.
describe what they're seeing to the other players.
Did you come with us to that E3?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you played it too.
Yeah, Ben and I were in the second
That's
demo.
right. That's right. I had to leave, and yeah. So we all, me, Jan, and Ben all played that game at E3 last year, not this year.
Yes.
And like it seemed promising as hell. Like,
Like gorgeous looking.
it looks
game.
really
Yeah.
good. And it's got that, it's kind of aliens-esque, like a lot of analog tech.
I loaded it up. Like the UI in all those menus has that vibe for sure.
Didn't that thing I had to hack? Wasn't that a literal command line? If I
Yes,
remember,
it
like
was
you
a literal
literally are
command
typing
line.
a command. It's not like hit a button sequence, like a QuickTime event. It's like literally like
Typing out
feel
a full
like you're
command.
hacking this terminal while enemies are bearing down on you, and like your teammates are trying to get this door open or something. It seems super cool.
If that's a game that's not going to have matchmaking, I'll probably never play it.
Yeah, well,
But also,
I couldn't tell if they were saying like, hey, it doesn't have matchmaking now because it's early access and we want people to know each other, or if that's more of a philosophical, like, we will never have it.
Or because you could very easily see, like, if you have to be conveying information across players, like, you need to be communicating, like, you kind of need to be with players at that point.
Yes.
So
unless they've scaled that back, and now you do have the option to just click a
If anything, it sounds like they've gone harder in that direction.
of course.
like the press release was very much like quotes to them saying, like, GTFO is a hardcore game.
Yeah, like they are very much pitching it as like, hey, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Was there any option for AI people?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
No.
They do say, like, playing it alone will be exceedingly, like, extremely difficult.
Oh, and maybe it is. Oh, maybe it is possible. Like, okay, maybe I'll just jump in there and see.
Yeah,
but
it was difficult with real life people.
Yeah,
I bet.
Yeah, with the developers.
Yeah,
Playing it with the people who made the game, it was not easy.
But yeah, I don't necessarily think games need to be easy, but I think there's something to be said for, and whatever, they're in early access, so who knows how it'll be when they're like done. But the convenience of being able to find a match when you want to without having to rely on other people, and then also, like, I think Apex kind of changed some of this stuff a little bit this year, but the ways to communicate with other players who are strangers that you are not on voice chat with, and that sort of stuff, I feel like would probably be, and I guess I have not played their game, so I don't know if it fits right in to GTFO, but I would think that would be maybe nice stuff to have,
maybe
like some form of that to make that just work.
I was talking to Will Smith about it a little bit. He played in one of their kind of test weekends not long ago. He said that it was like borderline MMO raid complicated in terms of the amount of coordination you needed.
Jeez.
Wow. So,
and it's still 4 people max?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes it sound like you wouldn't want to do it with strangers.
Yeah.
So,
or at least not until maybe the game is like a year old.
And then everyone knows a role.
People
and they
really know what they're doing.
But you have to play with friends long enough to like know what those roles are and split it up and stuff. Yeah, that's...
I super want to try it. I don't know.
It sounds like I think that game looks great. It sounds really cool.
It's got such a cool visual style.
But like, there's just logistics involved in that.
Yeah.
Where I am in my life, like I'm not. That's not a game I can play.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I mean, that's fine for me. There are a bajillion games out there. Like for games to specialize in something like this. Like not every game has to have like full on matchmaking if that's what they're going for.
I just think at some point, like, that's a like, hey, do you want to, like, what size of an audience do you want to try to appeal to?
Sure. Yeah.
The type of
That's
thing.
what I mean. Like, if they're okay constraining the size of their own audience by not offering stuff like that, then I get it.
Fine.
If there's a design reason for that.
Yeah.
I understand you've been playing some Darksiders Genesis?
Yeah. I played a bit of that back at E3, and it was kind of intriguing because it's a top-down Diablo-esque Darksiders game. They kept a lot of the DNA that makes Darksiders.
I've seen other people saying that since this came out properly. Like,
I really wanted to see how
plays like Darksiders, but overhead.
Right. How they handled throwing bombs and shit like that, and platforming. For example, they that is in full effect. So this is like a prequel of sorts, and it's the introduction of the fourth horseman, and that's Strife, and he's a little. I don't know. I'm trying to find the right words for it. Like his voice, like his dialogue doesn't match with the tone of the game. Like he speaks in a very like modern tone, I guess. Whereas, War, speaks, I shall smite thee, very Thor-esque, I guess. So it's a little strange, a little off-putting at first. But this totally, plays like a pretty competent, like top-down, loot dungeon crawler.
Is there straight up loot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like you can change characters on the fly, right? Is it like a mid combo? Because I played this game back around E3 and I didn't play that much of it, but I feel like early on my take on it was like, this doesn't feel like it fits because it had some platforming, like other elements of just like, I had to jump up on this thing, but it's a top-down game and how that's represented seems bad.
It's weird and it's not great.
Yeah. Okay.
The platforming in particular?
In particular, yeah. And you're fighting the camera an awful lot and you're not able to manually move the camera with the right stick or anything like that.
That was the stuff I felt like I was fighting against. Like it just felt like they wanted to make a Darksiders game, but really were married to this perspective, and it just didn't line up.
Yep.
But
yeah, I feel the same way. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. Whenever I do hit those parts, I groan. And there's a lot of them, unfortunately. But yeah, the two characters, War and Strife played very differently. Strife is he's got the dual handguns and such, and as Jeff mentioned, you can swap on the fly to War, who's definitely up close and personal. But Strife is he's very quick and nimble. And he's got some really cool stuff up close as well. So it's fun to play. Like the combat, it is varied enough between the two. There's enough upgrades to keep it interesting. I think they did a pretty good job. It's not bad. I forgot the name of the developer.
Isn't it the same?
No, it's not.
It's not.
No.
It's not Gunfire.
No, it's old Vigil
or
people, but
okay.
Airship Syndicate?
Airship.
Oh, wow.
What it
There we
was.
go. Thanks.
Something. I kept thinking gunship, but it's not Gunfire Games.
Yeah. But I don't know. This is not a good look for Strife, I guess. I don't know if they're still going to. I assume they're still going to make a full-fledged Darksiders, starring him. At some
Maybe
point.
I don't know. I feel like
Depends on maybe how well this does. I don't know.
3 really
The
did not land for many people.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how it goes. But
I have to just admire the tenacity of the series that they finally got all 4 characters out there in one form or another.
But this is right now out on PC and Stadia.
Yeah,
And
I was going to say I think it's Steam and Stadia only.
Steam and Stadia, and
I feel like
Stadia price is actually $10 more.
I was about to look that up because I thought that was the case, but I wanted to make 100% sure before I said it.
PC's $30.
But yeah, the Stadia
40.
version is more expensive than
It's
the PC
nuts.
version.
What the fuck?
I don't get it. I don't understand.
Don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, I got nothing for you. Especially because like this. I mean, I haven't played it, but I assume this probably runs on it even a halfway decent PC. Like it doesn't look like the most demanding game ever.
I've got a
Not like you would need like some infinite power of server racks to run this game for you because your PC can't or something. So for this to just be I don't.
Oh shit! I wonder how they. So there's co-op in the game, which is great. There's local co-op and online. What kind of sucks is that you've got to be at like a weird pillar inside of the game in order to like initiate. But I wonder how they do the co-op on a Stadia, because it only really works on the Chromecast right now, right? Like via the Chromecast.
If you want to play on a TV, yes.
Yeah.
And so then you would.
Could you
imagine 2 people huddled around
Can you sync another controller
to the Chromecast?
You don't sync controllers to the Chromecast.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
right.
sync it to you connect it to a Wi-Fi network
right.
and you connect it to another account. So I don't know if there's a way to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder.
Potentially, you could plug in 2 controllers to a PC and play in a browser.
Sure.
Maybe that would work. I don't know.
weird?
Yeah. A weird Stadia world. It's $10 more.
That's so odd.
That is a lot.
Is there is it because it's some deluxe edition that is on PC?
Not that I can tell.
The way that I saw this being framed by people, I don't think so. I think it's the same game.
Yeah, the PC only has one
Because
SKU
there was
as
a
far as I
level
can
of
tell.
ire attached to this fact.
Oh, why would look? I feel like if you've still got ire about Stadia, at some point that's your fault
I was
getting excited about it.
I was going to say I feel like my appetite for dunking on Stadia has run out, but at the same time, like stuff like this keeps happening, and it's just like what?
Yeah, that's bizarre, but I don't buy that version of the game.
Either way, the game's
ridiculous.
The game's it's all right.
$30, maybe not
$30.
the worst.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, all right.
Very playable,
Yeah.
and I could definitely see it being more fun co-op.
I guess 2 players just play as War and Strife simultaneously? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I guess
It's not 2 Strifes or whatever.
Probably not.
All right.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Jan,
I haven't played it.
You got anything?
Picked
Fun?
up. I needed something to rip me away from Pokemon on my Switch, so I just been playing too much of that game. God damn it! So I picked up Bloodstained on the Switch, and then I remembered that port specifically had a lot of performance issues.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of ire,
I immediately regretted it. But I fired it up. Still maybe 1-2 hours in, and I think it's okay. I think they had rolled out a major update around October that fixed not everything, but a couple more of the performance issues. It still takes a while to load.
I've been keeping an eye on that game because I still want to play it at some point, and it sounds like after the Switch version was on fire at launch, they diverted most or all of their efforts into fixing that version.
Yeah,
to the point that the other versions have not been getting updated as much as people want. Now people are complaining about some of those, but it sounds like they really went all in on trying to fix that Switch stuff.
Yeah, I haven't noticed anything other than not dramatic load times, but waiting longer than I'd expect to from screen to screen when the transition
But it runs
pops up.
okay?
Yeah.
It runs fine.
Sounds like that was the big
Yeah,
complaint.
I'm playing it handheld, so I don't know if docked changes the performance at all. It's been a while since I've played a Castlevania game, and I haven't played Symphony of the Night since like when it originally came out.
Yeah.
And this game has a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great game.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I
You
made
cook
my
anything yet?
I have not cooked anything
Okay.
yet because I don't think I'm barely grasping the regular systems of that game.
Yeah. I feel like it doesn't always do a great job of explaining
Yeah.
what the fuck
Oh yeah.
a lot of that stuff
I'm
is.
looking. I spent a long time looking up guides of and like random articles of like, what am I supposed to be doing here?
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's cool. It's great. It doesn't run too bad on the Switch.
That's good.
Is any of that stuff like to the game's benefit in any way for that stuff to be hidden in there? Like, is it fun to feel confusion and like dig into these bizarre systems, or does it just feel like it's like tedious work?
No, I feel like some of the stuff around the familiars and just how some of those systems work are like key to playing the game, and they're not like unknowable, but
Yeah.
it still feels like they could maybe have a little bit more text around some of that stuff.
Okay, so it's not like some Dark Souls situation. Of
No,
like, it's
no,
fun to
no.
not know what I'm doing and like try
No.
to figure this out.
But like also, some of it was like just clunky enough. Like if you eventually start unlocking the ability to like store loadouts and swap between them, and I found that to be like clunky. But at first I was like, why would you ever need this? This is silly. And then once I saw like, oh, I guess I could see. Okay, yeah, I guess I could see some reasons to use this sort of stuff. Like manipulating that stuff was a little clunky. It's just little, it's mostly menu shit. And just a few things could be explained slightly more cleanly, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. I was lost in a couple of menus last night of dipping into like, how do I equip this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of want to get into the cooking because that sounds stupid complicated.
It's stupid.
Yeah. I've
But
seen some of the dishes.
Stat bonuses are not bad.
Yeah, I've seen some of the dishes the East Coast has made, and it's looking pretty tasty.
Cooking is its own reward.
Yeah.
Satisfaction of a job well done. I still can't believe that thing turned out at all.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
It just is insane to me that that thing was not a complete piece of junk based on all the stuff that happened before release. All right.
I just think about Mighty Number 9 a lot.
Yes,
I'm like,
Right.
exactly.
man.
I just fully expected another situation like that.
Yep.
And instead we got
And
something
it was heading that way. Too.
wildly different.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Like in pre-release,
All the constant.
gameplay
I just felt like every other month
reviews.
somebody came back from a trade show or another
Yeah.
backer demo just saying like, it doesn't play well. Like, it doesn't
Right.
feel right.
And it looks like.
And they delayed it multiple times and like they brought in outside development help. And then they produced this insane thing that nobody knew they wanted.
They made good. It's not like
Yeah.
that cooler that everyone's pissed off about.
Yeah. Okay. Emails.
Yeah.
Now
Got
you're talking.
a stack of them. And I'm going to read them. They came to bombcast@giantbomb.com.
That's good. That's pretty good.
That's where I
think
would
it's
send
a,
them.
you know, I don't want to blow iron horn here or anything, but I think it's a pretty good email address.
I feel good about. I feel
think
great
it's
about it.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
It's to the point.
you can send an email to that address and it fucking goes somewhere.
You know, it's short.
Yep.
It's concise.
Yeah.
There's no guesswork. It's not the Giant Bombcast
No,
at giantbomb.com.
we should get that
I probably should.
secret email box.
Yeah, that's right. Emails that come into that address.
The
One of
worst.
the good ones.
All right. Zach in the UK. It's time to decide Indestructible from Street Fighter 4
Yes.
Yes.
or Back to Rise from Killer Instinct 2013.
Indestructible.
Indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even a.
Can you even call the other song to mind?
No,
No.
I can't.
No?
Well, I mean, if I hear it,
When I think
I'll
about
probably
music in Killer
immediately go,
Instinct,
oh yeah,
I think of one song that's in there, and it's probably that. But
killer,
yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
killer.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, she's a killer.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
That's
got-
not back to Rise.
I've got
I don't think so.
that Killer Cuts CD
Yeah.
somewhere.
We're ready.
Oh, me too.
somewhere in a box.
We're ready to put it in
You
the
had it at your
computer
desk for a
because no
while,
one
I think.
has an optical drive.
Oh, I should rip that thing.
Yeah,
I
you should.
think I ripped one.
Okay.
Get some hot flax.
Get some
somebody probably has.
lossless Killer
Yeah,
Cuts.
load up your copy of EAC and let's fucking go to work.
I've got a profile already.
Great.
Set up, ready to go. Because I ripped all my other CDs. Let's see. How about Neil in Dublin? I was just about to go to sleep when the image of Sonic's weird spin dash charge up move thing popped into my head.
Okay.
To start that move, you have to first press down, right? At which point Sonic kind of leans forward and places his head between his knees, almost like he's bracing for impact on an airplane instructional video. But then what happens? He looks like he's spinning around in a circle. Is he basically head over heels tumbling on the spot? And if so, why in the name of God would that make him go faster? What is even going on?
He secretes this grease,
Ooh.
actually, that comes out.
Hedgehog grease?
Yeah, hedgehog grease. So when he, goes over, he starts spinning on his back. And, the momentum, the inertia just kind of keeps him rolling faster and
Is that why
faster
that's
and
why the
faster.
quills are in this slicked back kind of configuration?
Because the quills
Minimize friction.
Yeah, well, they also provide a certain amount of traction that help you you can manipulate to keep the muscle of the quill kind of keeps you spinning as well.
So yeah, he gets lubed up.
I said, ooh, wow.
Self-lubes.
Hedgehog grease, huh? I never knew so much about hedgehog anatomy. Okay.
There you go, Neil.
Do you think we'll see it in the movie?
Oh yeah,
The grease?
Yeah. That's the only thing that stayed the same since the original animation.
That's true.
All right. Question from Ronald. I need to get my brother-in-law something for Christmas this year. He's really into wrestling and is a big AEW fan. I know he reads books written by former wrestlers. Any thoughts on a good gift I might be able to get him?
Who's written the book?
He's probably read Jericho's
Yeah, I was going to say Jericho
books,
had a
and
book.
those are okay.
What are those? Are those like true life?
Yeah, it's like-
biographies?
Yeah,
it's typically there. Yeah.
Road
There aren't
stories.
any former wrestler novelists or anything like that?
Mick Foley's written.
John
Yeah.
Cena put out a children's book.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
What fucking what?
Um,
See that?
Hornswoggle put out a book recently.
Really?
I thought I heard a couple of people saying that it was all right, but I don't know firsthand. He probably
It's
already
a
read.
collection of short stories.
Yeah, he probably already read Mick Foley's first book, which I think is probably the best like wrestling book I've read.
Is Hornswoggle the name of a wrestler?
Yes, he goes by Swoggle now that he's no longer in the company.
I would say Swaggle.
Yeah,
Hornswaggle.
A very dense human being.
yeah.
Okay.
He's compact.
I just saw that, speaking of dense, I didn't know that King Kong Bundy passed.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Not super long ago.
Aw.
Super long.
Like sometimes this year. Is Elbow Grease really the name of John Cena's children's book?
Probably.
And is there really a friendly anthropomorphized monster truck on the cover?
That makes sense. Yeah, that probably.
Scream Cena.
Oh, that's great.
He's done a lot of stuff in his time off of wrestling.
John Cena is a pretty cool dude.
We got to talking. We got to talking last week about who should go in the Hall of Fame,
And then, of course,
and we
all
fucking
four
nailed it.
All four members of NWO. You know them: Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and X-Pac.
Yeah, all four. That's a weird choice, but I feel like we nailed it.
We did.
At dinner, we were like, the NWO should go in, and then as I left with Alex, and then I texted back,
Dan showed
Batista. They should put Batista in.
Is he the Guardians of the Galaxy guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. He doesn't wrestle anymore.
No, he is retired.
Okay.
He wrestled
He doesn't
relatively
need to.
recently, but
Full-time actor.
something like that.
Does he have a first name?
Dave.
Just Batista. Okay, I thought that was right. So you have any other big like film roles besides that one?
He was in what's that called? What's the movie with Ryan Gosling? People like it a lot. It's the future movie Blade Runner. He was in Blade Runner.
Oh,
he's
shit,
really?
yeah, yeah,
apparently
small
he is also going to be in the new Dune.
Yes.
Cool.
Huh. Batista gets around.
He's surprisingly a good actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Get your brother-in-law a bunch of DVDs of kids films featuring wrestlers.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of Scooby-Doo films featuring WWE superstars.
Yeah.
Blu-ray copy of The Marine,
Yeah.
the first one.
The first one, because it's classy.
There's like 6 of them now.
Something. I don't know. Yeah.
Bo Dallas is in one,
Sure. Why wouldn't he be?
of course.
Got another wrestling email here.
Is
Jake,
IRS in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
Mr. Shyster?
Probably not.
They should put him.
Should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should put him in.
Yeah.
Jake from South Carolina. A while ago, I wrote in about my great uncle, Joseph Scarpa, aka Chief J Strongbow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, today, December 3rd, is his wife's birthday. I am currently visiting, and last night we were having dinner when, lo and behold, what arrives at the door? A bouquet of flowers from Stephanie McMahon.
Nice.
Oh. My aunt says that she receives one every year on her birthday from Stephanie, and I was slightly taken aback. I just wanted to share this bit of good that the McMahon family has done for mine.
That's nice.
So
Aw.
Just gonna throw that out there.
I mean, it's probably her assistant, but
Maybe.
who knows?
Hey.
Still, that's nice.
Joel from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Last week's discussion on Half-Life versus Sin got me thinking about when those two worlds combined to give us Sin Episodes Emergence.
Ugh.
That game was built with Valve's Source Engine and never got a sequel to its premiere episode.
Yeah.
Do you know,
That's okay.
do you know the story behind that game and why it never got an eventual sequel?
It was fucking terrible.
Was it terrible?
I don't know.
I don't remember hating it.
Yeah, I remember.
I do remember it did not have nearly the amount of John Blade that you wanted out of a Sin.
Sure. I remember it being very
or like
underwhelming.
Any?
I remember the primary use for it being people wanting to rip the model of the lady out of it because she had to.
What was it?
She had
Alexis
big features.
Sinclair?
Sure.
Is that her name?
Sinclair, yeah.
God, right. So very subtle.
But they didn't. Those models didn't come right into Gary's mod. You had to do something else to get them in. But people did whatever that was to get them in. They had to get them in.
I think, yes. I think it had like, I mean, when I think of Sin, I think of John Blade quipping like a better Duke Nukem
Yeah.
to a large extent. And if I remember, there was like no voice acting for the character.
That sounds
in
right.
Sin
Yeah.
episodes like did not have the ridiculous humor that you wanted.
So
Like it was kind of like weirdly straight. Like it was just kind of humorless.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it's been a long time.
I was looking for. I typed Duke Nukem animated GIF into a search engine this morning because I needed a dumb animated GIF of Duke Nukem. Almost any would do.
Right.
I have become a Bing user at home for whatever reason.
Okay.
I've just,
You want those points. I understand.
got to get them points.
Yeah, I get you.
I could get a Starbucks gift card, I think, with
Yeah.
that. $3,
Five.
$3, $5, something
Yeah.
like that. I don't have safe search on any of my browser search engines. I just have
fun.
never
Spicy.
I just never have lived that life. And I typed in Duke Nukem animated GIF into Bing, and I would say 30 to 50% of the images being returned were porn,
Okay.
specifically oral sex. And I don't know why. Did at some point Duke Nukem become a term for something? And we just missed that? Is there some kind of Urban Dictionary Duke Nukem thing out there that like we're...
Give him the Duke.
I don't know.
Nukem.
I don't know.
I don't want to
Right.
know. I really don't want to know.
And I couldn't find a good picture of Duke Nukem and a good animated GIF of Duke Nukem. I couldn't find one. There wasn't one.
Were those featuring Duke Nukem?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, I don't know. You didn't see a lot of like
Sure.
men's faces in the imagery, I'll say.
It could have been John St. John, right?
It absolutely could have been. I don't know. It was just alarming. It was the first time that I thought, like, maybe I should turn Safe Search back on because this isn't actually useful anymore.
American society is in a weird place.
You don't want to
right
look in
now.
every corner anymore. I get you. Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I didn't know.
Like, what is it about Dick-
Nothing comes to mind.
I don't. Yeah. I settled on an image of Duke Nukem created in one of the WWE games doing like a crotch thrust.
Okay.
I said, that will do for the dumb Discord joke I am attempting to perform right now.
That sounds adequate.
That'll do.
I don't.
Duke Nukem beggars can't be Duke Nukem choosers.
I guess I get what I get. Bing is the search engine of perversion.
That checks out. Sure.
You turn off Safe Search on Google, you find some stuff.
Yeah.
But like not like this,
That-
man.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Bing, when you uncap Bing and say,
It's
show
like-
me the internet, Bing says, fucking here you go.
Yes, it's because like it's
And I don't know if that's better or not.
it's technically competent enough to be a fully fledged search engine, but
Yeah.
not enough people are paying attention to it for them to really try to safeguard the user experience.
Also, Bing is weird because I tried searching for like the PowerPoint download for Bing, and then the top two results were Prezi and another PowerPoint like program, and then Microsoft Office was like the third and fourth result. And I'm thinking, like, shouldn't you just weight that a little bit towards your favor?
Your thing. I don't know. They dealt with enough antitrust bullshit over the years that they probably have to be very scared
Fair enough.
about how they do that stuff.
But if I'm typing in PowerPoint, shouldn't that be the first thing?
Well, unless they sold ads to those other companies and they bought the ad words for PowerPoint.
That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Internet sucks.
Were the porn gifs at least animated?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so they got that part right.
And they were all animating. And I'm just like, man, no, I hope no one walks in here right now because it's going to look real weird. One wasn't enough. I don't know.
See, now I want to see if there's any adult content if I search PowerPoint and images.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Just make sure you do that on your own time.
Okay.
Run a VPN or something. I don't know.
I ended up on the Sin Episodes Wikipedia page, which says that a total of 9 episodes were planned, with only the first one released. A little ambitious. A tad ambitious. Also, my favorite line on this page, with the sale of Ritual to Mumbo Jumbo and departure of several employees, all future development of Sin Episodes appears to be delayed indefinitely, if not entirely canceled.
Oops.
We'll see.
I love
Fingers crossed on that one.
I love that there's
We'll
just
see if
this,
Mumbo Jumbo decides to get back into the Sin episode.
this time capsule of a Wikipedia page that isn't sure if Sin Episodes is canceled permanently
they
or not.
probably haven't said anything. You know, that's
true.
That's
They never
the
came
current
out.
status, right?
They never flat out said they're never going to make another one.
It's on hold. Ritual time makes a fools of us all.
That's right. Jared from New York. If you could only choose one sauce while all others would go away forever, what would you choose?
Oh, no.
Consider not just your favorite sauce, but also what foods it could go on, since you can't use any others.
So this includes pasta and pizza, then?
I guess so. Let's assume a an all-inclusive definition of sauce.
Okay.
Although, I mean, like, does mayonnaise count as sauce in this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
But I wouldn't
Oh,
count
shit.
like ketchup
Things
as
that
a
you call
sauce.
condiments are
ketchup's
also
totally
sauce
a
here.
Yeah.
sauce, though.
Yeah, I guess so. All condiments are sauce. No, not all.
Ooh.
I wouldn't count condiments.
This is a really, like, what is the universal sauce?
I would probably.
I can't think of one.
Like, ranch is surprisingly popular, but it's not my pick. It's
No,
not my
yeah,
pick.
okay, I was gonna say it's a little too tangy, I think,
Yeah.
to work on everything.
I feel like my gut reaction was barbecue sauce.
Sure.
My second was, what about teriyaki sauce?
Oh,
Yummy
shit.
sauce.
Soy sauce. Yeah, that's important.
I at one point thought HP sauce might be the way to go.
But then you said pizza, and I was like, well,
Maybe a pesto.
Pesto's really good.
I'm not a.
I couldn't do it.
Are you gonna allow weird pesto variations?
Ooh, I think
Like-
you just have to stick to like the pine nuts
like-
and basil.
Oh, really?
Form
like,
of pesto.
Like for example, you occasionally might make, let's say, a kale pesto instead of a basil.
I did not think about that variation. I wonder if that disobeys the laws of the question.
I might actually have to say mayonnaise because there's so many things you can do with it.
Yeah, so can you take that sauce you choose and make the different variations?
Yeah, I think it's fine to take
Okay.
like a base and add other stuff to it.
Okay.
That opens, up the mayo.
Then
argument.
mayo might be the choice then.
I think
Make an aioli out of
totally.
anything.
I think that might be the way to go.
What about Zach
There
sauce?
are even places that put mayonnaise on pizza.
I would choose Zach sauce.
Japan, for example.
Yes, exactly. They know what they're doing.
No, they do not.
Mayonnaise, yes. Corn, no.
I would take
gonna say-
corn over mayonnaise
Corn on a pizza.
7 days a week.
I think so.
If this was the decision, would you eradicate mayonnaise or corn? Mayonnaise is done.
Oh, man.
Same.
All right.
Zach sauce.
Still
Zach
never,
sauce and corn.
Still never had it. Should go there sometime.
You've yet to live.
It's true. I could have told you that. Jim from Milwaukee. Is now the time for the fabled Tekken Cross Street Fighter? It might give the Tekken team a chance to parlay their success with Tekken 7 while allowing the Street Fighter team to readjust after the continuously murky reception of Street Fighter 5. Maybe they can call it Tekken Cross Street Fighter Tag Tournament. Or do I just want more King/Akuma tag team action? I want answers.
They can call it whatever the hell they want. So I was watching the World Finals the other day, which
Of Tekken 7?
of Tekken 7, which happened to be in Bangkok. So I was up at like 4 a.m. watching this shit. And all I could think about, it was Tekken Cross Street Fighter and how badly I want it.
Really?
Yeah, because there were so many Akumas in the, in like the top
Well, I
eight.
guess they've proven that they can make a viable Street Fighter character
Yeah.
in the Tekken engine then.
Totally. But, oh my God. Yeah, I want that so bad.
It's crazy
Since they've put out Akuma and like really solidified and proven, that they can do this.
like Street
This
Fighter
is totally viable.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken was such a boondoggle, and Street Fighter has been in kind of the dumps, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy to see the narrative on Tekken Cross Street Fighter wrap back around to positive now that Tekken 7 is amazing.
Yeah.
Like for this to actually be something people genuinely want again,
but
is,
like for different reasons.
yeah,
It's
is wild. Because back then, like Tekken was kind of like lost in the woods, right?
Little
Like,
bit,
wasn't that
yeah.
a time when Tekken was kind of at a low?
Sure.
what about what? I mean, if you think about the guest characters they did, why don't we do Tekken cross Street Fighter? Why don't we do Tekken cross Capcom cross SNK?
Oh boy, what engine?
Tekken 7.
Jeez.
Tekken 7 engine.
Yeah.
Dude, you would never have to make another fighting game.
I think
That's
Because
everything.
Geese is in there and
Yeah.
like good too, you know, for
Shit.
some of the same reasons.
that would be a dream come true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be the last fighting game.
I don't know if I would choose a Tekken 7 engine, like a variant of it.
Well, yeah, I'm saying like, you know, whatever they do, stepping
Right.
forward from that. You know, you make it a tag game, you do something to it, not just straight up Tekken 7,
Mhm.
but that is the base. Plus, here are some systems we can add to make it crazier,
Yeah.
and maybe a little bit more projectile friendly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. I feel like they did projectiles reasonably well in Tekken 7.
Yeah.
For what they need, but
Yeah, that's a lot of licenses.
yeah, but they've already got inroads.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make that happen.
I mean, while we're just talking about things that'll probably just end up never happening anyway. Like,
Right.
why not shoot for the fucking stars? But no, yeah, actually, I think that, yeah, I wonder. Here's my question for you that I was thinking about this morning. Do you think that the Champion Edition update for Street Fighter V will be the final update for that game?
I thought that
It's like
with
their
last
opportunity to,
update,
but it's like their opportunity to put it back out on disc
right.
and say, like, here's the version with all of it. Thank you. Good night.
Yep. Yeah, it certainly would be a good stopping point.
Yeah. Because they didn't do a full season last time out. You know,
Right.
it's not like doesn't seem like they're kicking off
It
a whole
seems
round.
like things are wrapping up
Yeah.
over there. Like it feels like that.
Yeah.
Did they say how many characters are in this update?
40. So
No,
that-
I mean in this new update. How many? How many are they adding? Only
right.
two.
Well, there's bound to be a third one because they said that there's going to be 40 characters by the time this is
Okay.
done, and unless my math is off,
They're
39.
okay.
There are 39 that have been announced.
I see. Because each previous season was like 6 characters, right?
Yeah.
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 Ending with a whimper.
Like kind of
Something like that. Yeah.
strangulation, like gurgle.
All right.
How
also,
long do you think Capcom stays out of the fighting game? Like,
Right.
let's assume that thing comes out in February, and then maybe they do like a balance update or like a couple of colors. You know, it's like minor stuff, but
Yeah.
that's kind of it.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to go back to like
Yeah.
Infinite or anything like that.
seems
No.
like they could afford to. Just my perception of like their business,
Right.
Mhm.
like Monster Hunter's
Oh,
doing
yeah.
great.
Right.
Like the Resident Evil
Resident
games
Evils
have been on the upswing.
Right.
Like people really liked Mega Man 11. Like
They're
they're putting out, like-
necessarily have a business reason
they're putting out lots of good games now.
other than that they have employees that are employed in an esports capacity.
Right.
That if they wanted to keep that division around, it would make sense for them to like work on a new game.
Yeah.
To kind of keep that going.
Frankly, I could take a break from
Yeah.
Street Fighter, and I'm
Oh,
on
well,
a
yeah,
hiatus right now.
Totally, yeah.
Um,
But like, I wonder. I don't see them going right back and saying like, okay, here we go. Here's Street Fighter 6. I also don't see them saying like, here's Darkstalkers or any kind of other. I don't see them spending the money even that they spent making Street Fighter 5 out of the gate, which Sony funded a lot of that. I don't necessarily see them re-upping to that level right now,
Right.
without taking like a significant break
yeah.
and coming back with like a new look and something different and new people, whatever.
Well,
But-
it's something that can be a little risky, but I don't think that they would invest too much into it.
yeah.
So it would have to be, I think, like a smaller title, like a Darkstalkers or something like that. If they did do
Sure,
something.
like maybe that's their way to kind of dip their toes back in,
Right.
remain in the conversation.
Yep, remain viable. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, Darkstalkers I think would be a good choice.
Do you think you make,
Or Captain
Okay.
Commando.
Yeah.
I don't know.
if you were to make a new Darkstalkers, or if you were to make any new Capcom fighting game,
Right.
let's say,
Yeah.
do you think you would make it play like a versus game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see.
I feel like that would be the way to, like, if you wanted to try to
Right.
attract.
But you know what I'm not going to get is like 2D animation.
Right.
I'm going to get
Yeah.
those big blocky, chunky 3D characters.
Yep.
It's just not going to look as good.
Yeah,
That
they
would
need a new house style for their
Yeah.
fighting games.
Right.
Yeah, that would be nice. I think too. Like if they threw out
God.
the 4 and 5 style.
I'm thinking of a fucking big Sasquatch that's all 3D.
Yeah,
Polygonal.
like thinking
I'm
of
just not
yeah,
happy
you
with that.
think of the Guilty Gear tech,
Oh,
but Darkstalkers character.
that's what I do whenever
Yeah.
I like internally. That's what
Yeah.
I do when I think of the Guilty Gear tech.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah,
yeah.
in that. Yeah, I want Street Fighter 6 to be that.
Do you think would a Darkstalkers need to be like the kind of $20 8-character with add-ons kind of situation? You think?
Huh.
I mean, maybe they tried to do the free-to-play fighting game that
Everybody else is kind of do. Well, not everybody,
like
but
people. I feel like people talk about it a lot, but Killer Instinct is
Yep.
really the only.
and they've done
Seemed to work
very good with
pretty
that.
well for them. Yeah.
Yeah, but Capcom has just not handled microtransactions very well.
No, I guess not.
This era.
But the bigger thing is, I wonder if like a Darkstalkers could like hit the scale they're looking for at $60.
But like maybe they don't. Again, maybe it's not about hitting scale. Maybe it's about like a lower budget game that they're putting out to just kind of keep a pulse going. Do something for the fans because they don't necessarily have to hit it out of the park because their other games are hitting very hard right now.
Yeah. I mean, if that's their strategy, it feels like lowering the barrier to entry
Right.
to get people who are kind of casual. It's like, hey, I like fighting with monsters. Sure, I'll
Yeah.
pick this up for less than full price.
Yeah, but maybe this ends up being some backdoor way into some kind of Darkstalkers content or something.
Mm-hmm.
If they just like feel a need to tiptoe for a while.
Like if they don't want to do anything more with Infinite, just do an internal Capcom fighting game. That would be groovy as well.
Capcom versus Capcom.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, probably some kind of versus game. Like even if it was Darkstalkers, I bet it would be frenetic air launcher tag game nightmare.
That's a genre.
Yeah. Mango BB Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Jim from Milwaukee. Scoring
Wow.
the elusive
Old Milwaukee Jim.
Bombcast email twofer. I've always had a thing for illicit bootleg material.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Were any of y'all ever involved in any tape trading rings, or were there any black market VHS holy grails that you could never get your hands on?
I was thinking about this earlier, like yesterday, like how that used to exist.
Yeah.
Before the internet was such an effective video delivery mechanism.
Yeah.
It was that era of you got to come over and see this shit.
Yeah.
This thing's been copied 8 times. Like the
Guys.
barely see what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The TV Carnage DVDs are really good for that. But like there was that era of fucking like all those CKY videos and before that, Faces of Death.
Faces. I've never seen a Faces of Death, but that was like the thing you heard about as like this urban legend of this god awful thing.
I remember we went and bought when we went out to New York for that Jammer Lammy event. Ryan McDonald bought a Faces of Death tape, and I bought some horrendous pornography.
Times Square in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But it was our first time in New York with time to kill, and Times Square was still a
nightmare,
a scumbag haven. And it was just like, wow, there's a lot of, and Watt was there with us, so
okay,
spent our time
up to no
wisely.
good. Yeah,
they called down to the front desk of the hotel. You got a VCR? I left. I didn't want to see it. I did not need to see.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Faces of Death.
Yeah,
like I remember like back when I was a kid hearing like people talk about like a video store that had it.
Yeah,
right.
They rent Faces of Death. You can go get it there.
You gotta go get it. But yeah,
it never actually seemed to be true.
a new store that's sold them in Atlanta, actually. Yeah. But they did like a bunch of like backyard wrestling. What was there was like a hobo fight one.
It was called Hobo Fights.
Well, there's
Really?
Bum Fights is the
Bum Fights,
one.
that's
That's more
fucking-
recent though. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's more DVD.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that and CKY,
Right.
like kind of there was an era there. Those guys got paid off that stuff. I think there was a
Jesus.
lawsuit after the fact where they were like, "Hey,
You mean the participants did?
Yes,
Good.
I guess I don't know for sure.
Okay.
Good.
But not the people that made the videos, I hope.
No.
Well, they made money initially. I believe they sold it off to someone else who made sequels or something like that. But someone came down on them and said, "Hey, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
Fucking gross.
But yeah, like that and CKY were definitely like
tradable.
There was an era of like, you need to come and see this because it's fucked up.
This is illicit material.
There was an era of, you need to see this. Come look at this fucked up thing I have. It's hellish. Don't watch it. But
so transgressive to even have this.
yeah, but then then like what? There were websites that just trafficked in that all day long.
Oh
Just
God,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think my equivalent of
Jesus,
that
I
would
don't even
be
want to think about it.
sharing world star links with friends.
Right, yeah. See,
of
before
like,
that, it was
wow.
like
Yeah.
style projects.
Yeah, it
and
was like
fucking
that and
E-Bombs World. Or,
rotten.
not even that. But yeah, rotten. Yeah.
Just awful.
A lot of style projects, nightmares, a lot of prolapse. Anyway, a lot of bad shit. A lot of bad shit on the internet.
Yeah, like 97, 98, 99.
And it was hard to look away.
Just
Like I
awful.
feel like you got to that point where you're just like, I'm just gonna like numb myself to all of this because it's just like because it's all here. Might as well look at and then yeah. And
I went the other direction with it. I was like, nope, don't need that.
I saw a lot of bad shit on the internet for a long time.
Yeah.
Now the bad shit on the internet is way more pervasive and way more sinister, but
Way more.
at least
like
it
Duke
isn't like
Nukem.
medical maladies and poop.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.
To everyone.
I don't like poop.
Steve from Baton Rouge. Today I read that Master P is launching his own line of ramen noodles called Rap Noodles.
Okay.
Master P himself on Instagram says, if you ain't eating rap noodles, then you shouldn't be eating noodles because this is the best of the best noodles.
Really? Okay.
What food brands could other musicians or celebrities create, and what should they be called?
Huh.
I don't know that I can even come up with anything else after that. I just,
I certainly wouldn't have put those two together.
I mean, Master P has a diversified portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say he's in a lot of businesses.
God, that's where I want to get to in life, is where I can just kind of release some like fucking ramen noodles.
I think he was big in real estate, right?
Right.
Wasn't that
Sounds
right?
He owns a wrestling league now as
Oh,
well.
wow.
He bought a wrestling
Noodles.
company recently.
Which
You're
one
right.
does he own?
Ring of Glory, I think it's called.
Sure. Sounds like a wrestling promotion.
I went to rapnoodles.com.
Are they like
and-
instant noodles?
Yeah, it looks like
Okay.
very much like a cup noodle competitor.
Okay.
Creamy chicken gumbo flavor
Yo.
here.
Interesting.
Sorry. Nobody's gonna
Um,
beat cup noodle.
Yeah. There is not a tank on this cup of noodles.
Nah,
so
forget it
I
then.
don't think I want it.
Yeah. What if Gwen Stefani was selling those ice cream fish shaped sandwiches?
Okay.
Little ice cream sandwiches
Sure.
shaped like fish.
Sure.
She's also in a lot of businesses, so
There you go.
that seems entirely possible. More celebrities should make food.
Mighty
I mean, a
Mighty
lot
Boss
do,
Tones is having a line of very hearty soups.
Sure. Sounds all right. Soup that eats like a meal.
Sure. That's the impression I get from these soups.
Well, since we're talking about food, we got multiple emails about the Olive Garden pasta pass.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
fantastic.
We need tips.
Speaking of tips, man, it's just a segue factory here. Nelson from Washington, I'll read this one first so we can clear the air on this. On the most recent episode, you guys brought up the Olive Garden pasta pass. I wanted to email in and say that 2 of my best friends both got the 9-week pass. After joking about it with them, my friend Michael decided to take the challenge and eat at Olive Garden every day for 9 weeks.
Okay.
He literally ate dinner there every single day. He would walk up to the bar, and after a week, the waiters already knew the situation. He also wouldn't tip.
That sucks.
Come on.
What?
My question is not tipping a dick move in
Yes.
this situation?
Yeah.
Yes.
1000%.
Or what are your thoughts on tipping in general? Yes, that's, come on, man.
Yeah.
Tell your friend to get fucked.
Like, not only is that shitty, but I'm even extra angry because it derailed the real, research value of this email, which is to say what happened to him after eating at Olive Garden every day for 9 weeks.
Right,
But,
yeah.
I'm
but the
curious
tipping
about that,
situation is so shitty, we can't
like
even talk
if
about
they
it.
knew his name and like he was a decent person and stuff, maybe that would be an interesting story. But instead, they were like, "This fucking asshole
Yeah.
is coming back."
You're every day.
Shit pissed right now. That's just fucking.
Yeah, that's,
God
come on.
damn
Got a little extra pasta sauce for you, man. Enjoy. What?
Okay.
See, there were places on the internet.
John in Phoenix, Arizona also wrote in with a little bit more useful information. In 2017, I managed to snag one of the regular 9-week pasta passes. They had not yet started doing the lifetime ones at the time, thank God.
Yeah.
pass got me a never-ending bowl of build-your-own pasta. You could choose a pasta, a sauce, and a topping. I made a spreadsheet to track how much money I spent on the pass and tips, as they were not included. I then did some math to figure out how much I saved. Okay, he's got a little table here. This is like a very professional email. I mean, it's full on.
Oh, wow. We got
Oh, great. Color-coded, all this other stuff.
Yeah,
Just-
okay. The card cost, which I assume was the pass, $108.60. Tip costs $118.69.
Okay.
Meal costs would have been $587.46, resulting in an overall savings of $360.17. So
That's good money, but something about having to eat there every day
yeah,
maybe was worth.
he says, with a few exceptions, I went only for lunch during the work week. I made 38 trips to Olive Garden. I usually just got one bowl, ate half of it, and then took the leftovers home to have for dinner. I also ended up expanding out the spreadsheet to include every combination of bowl to score them on a weighted olive scale. It looks like only the...
People have too much time on their hands. Like,
I-
as a society, I think we need to.
I really appreciate his thorough, methodical approach. It's yielding some good data here. It looks like the only two combinations to earn 5 out of 5 olives were fettuccine with 5 cheese marinara, crispy shrimp fritta and salad, and angel hair with 5 cheese marinara, also crispy shrimp fritta and salad. And the worst combinations clocking in at 1 out of 5 olives were gluten-free rotini with Alfredo and meatballs, gluten-free rotini with creamy mushroom and meatballs.
Sounds like the meatballs maybe not hitting, but maybe the gluten-free pasta is not
Not the best.
the best.
I didn't like Olive Garden before getting the pass, and I haven't been back since. I almost considering getting the pass this year to shoot for the lifetime pass, but I expect my body would not have held out long enough to get the real savings.
Probably not. No.
So there you go.
That is entirely too much pasta.
Maybe not all it's cracked up to be, I would say. Okay.
I don't know. That still sounds all right.
It's still the best weird flex to be
Yeah.
like, hey, you want a bowl of pasta? Let's go.
Yeah.
It's going to take an hour, but
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit here and wait because apparently it's always prom season somewhere.
yep.
Daniel from Louisville, Kentucky. Why do you think the why do you think the pressure-sensitive face buttons from the PS2 never caught on? I feel like they would be amazing in games that don't use the triggers for movement speed.
Just not a lot of throw to begin with.
I don't think anybody...
They never felt great.
Nobody ever really figured out what to do with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Metal Gear Solid.
And
Yeah,
the
but
bouncer.
even that.
Bouncer.
Yeah.
The ultimate video game.
Yes.
Yeah. They didn't seem like the trade-off of those buttons being kind of weirdly squishy in every game, even though most games didn't use it. I don't know.
I could see it leading to like a repeated stress injury if you're like
Okay.
constantly mashing hard
Yeah.
on one of the buttons.
Sure. I just never felt like you got a lot of good feedback from them
Yeah.
in terms of how much how
Right.
much pressure
Exactly,
you're actually
right,
applying.
yes.
Like there was
Yeah.
just no way to
That's definitely part
tell
of it.
like how hard is too hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So that it's not like a trigger where it's very obvious like what the throw is on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a neat idea though. They tried stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They had Ken Kutaragi on that PlayStation Let's Say to Play this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just brought him out of retirement to say hello.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you for 25 years of PlayStation. Because that just happened
Right.
last week.
Yeah.
Did that thing launch globally at the same time?
No.
What the?
It was out in 94 in Japan. It was out
Oh.
in 95 here.
Okay. So that was the Japan
Yeah.
anniversary that they're talking about. Okay. Let's see. Azzy from Michigan. Back in the 90s and early 2000s, a lot of people got excited for long games like the 40-hour RPG. Now that we're going into 2020, we seem to value length in games less than before and complain if a game doesn't respect the player's time. What changed? Is it the increased length of games, the decreased effort put into the content like Skyrim's repeatable quests, or is it the oversaturation of great games nowadays?
I think it's like all of it contributes, right? Like depending on your particular position in life.
Yeah, I think that's actually the bigger thing, right?
Yeah,
A lot of people got old and realized it's like, hey,
I got shit I got to do.
time is fleeting.
Yeah. But also, yeah, there are a lot of games out all the time. Some of them are just straight up free. So the price points have become so varied now that, you can get into a lot of different games all the time if you so choose. And so that whole thing of like being in that position of like, well, I'm going to only buy one full price game this month or this quarter, whatever it is, whatever your budget situation is, you would sometimes find yourself in a position just like, well, I want that game to last until I can afford another game. But the money is so different now that I feel like that's less of a thing than it was.
A lot of games.
Plus, like some longer games have padding and overstay their welcome and all this other stuff, and the longer is definitely not better.
Sometimes less is more, you might say.
I'm going to keep saying that until someone believes it.
Never.
Let's see. Question from Hans. With backwards compatibility being an actual thing on the PS5, and with the added rumor that PS1, 2, and 3 discs may play natively on the PS5, what are the chances and logistics of having all of your digital purchases from the PS3 move over to the PS5 as long as you use the same account on both systems?
I would hope that would be the case.
Yeah, how, they have to do that, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Like, how are they going to...
I'm going to have to dig out I changed accounts in late 07.
Sure.
And so I have PS3 stuff split across 2 accounts.
How are you going to play Pain in 4K?
Right. How am I going to play the Metal Gear document?
Right. The document of Metal Gear Solid.
Yes. Or the Metal Gear Encyclopedia or whatever it was.
Or Trash Panic.
Yes. Well, Trash Panic.
I was trying to think of some PSN.
Sure. Pain is the one.
Pain.
Yes.
Pain.
Kooky.
Yeah. Yeah, they cannot sell those games to people again.
Right.
Oh, they can, but
they could. Yes, they could. But
they should.
You should be able to buy PS3 It would be an
games.
Insult, is what I mean.
But they
should sell people those games again.
If you own them already, you should keep them.
Absolutely.
Yes, but I would love if you didn't own any PS3 games, if that whole store just came.
Oh yeah. That would be cool if they offer it for people who don't have them.
Right,
What I mean is
yes,
they cannot say, hey,
again.
you have to pay a PS5 fee to play your
Yeah.
digital PS3 games.
That's no longer backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be pretty lousy.
Don't worry. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
But that's also assuming the entire PS3 library even comes over in the first place.
Who knows?
Are they
I
actually
don't know. It's
do the work involved to get Pain?
I don't know. I bet you could play Pain on a PC pretty well these days.
I bet you could. Question from Michael.
Shoot.
It's actually more of a quiz. According to Wikipedia, it is estimated that 85 to 90% of self-described juggalos are peaceful, non-criminal music fans. The other 10 to 15% make up the juggalo subculture's criminal element.
Yeah.
Again, this is quoting from Wikipedia. This is
Okay.
not his assertion. Okay, this is him. This is him talking. I have been learning about the subculture within a subculture of the dozens of juggalo street gangs, many of which have amazing names.
Let's hear them.
So if you would, I have prepared a quiz. Are each of these real Juggalo street gang names or not? Number 1, H-Town Wicked Clowns, and that's clowns with a Z.
I'm going to say that's fake.
Yeah, I don't think they'd put clowns in the name.
That is, in fact, real from Houston.
Yeah.
I knew it was from Houston. That's why I said it was false. So Houston knows better. Oh.
The Wicked Clowns.
The Malenko Drop Crew with a K.
No, that's not
No.
real.
Yeah, that's fake. 420 Goon Squad.
That's
Oh,
real.
God.
That's not, I mean,
Don't be real,
That's
please.
not a juggalo. No.
According to this says real, based out of the Washington prison system.
Okay.
Lazy Psychopathic Goons, also with a Z.
Not real.
Lazy.
I'm gonna say no.
psychopathic goons.
Real from Colorado Springs.
L. No, that's-
We're just, we're having to take him at his word here.
Yeah.
Violent Fucks to Die. That's FUX and the numeral 2.
That's real.
That's
That's
real.
too specific. It has to be real.
That's what I thought, but he says it's fake.
No.
No.
It's like
It's real now.
You're making
Yeah.
up incredible Juggalo games.
Join me.
Mount up.
Yeah.
Uh,
Woo woo.
Denver's most hated juggalos.
No.
It says it's real from Denver.
God damn it.
They need better names.
Yeah,
They should turn to this guy and fucking have him rename all their fucking Juggalo gangs.
That's
Denver's most hated.
All right, last one.
That just sounds like kids on a computer that never get out. We're starting a gang.
All right, last one. Big money hustle is Sheboygan.
That's
come
real.
on.
That's real.
Has to be real.
It says real, based out of Sheboygan
Based out of
County,
Sheboygan.
Wisconsin,
Yep.
and reportedly had 8 members and 6 associates and had been linked to such crimes as graffiti.
Oh no.
Is Hustlers with a $sign?
No,
Damn.
not according to this.
Okay.
I haven't,
What about Big Money Rustlers Sheboygan? Are they fucking beefing?
Sheboygan, Wisconsin's own.
I just love the idea of a Sheboygan chapter of, man, I don't care. I don't care if any of those are actually real or not. I was too entertained.
Sheboygan's very small.
Like there's
by the
real
way.
and then there's real.
Yeah.
Like when you're
Yeah.
saying like someone claiming to be an affiliate of this thing
Right.
got busted for graffiti.
Yes.
Like
Somebody put up a webpage with his
again,
name on
yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's like
Totally.
some computer kids that decided to get out and paint.
God
Yes.
damn it.
Uh,
I shouldn't laugh. I went to a magic tournament in Sheboygan. So
did
I
you get
can't-
arrested?
Nope.
Did you do
I
hear it's
didn't
rough
even
out
do
there.
graffiti.
You didn't do a graffiti?
No.
You should have.
I'm not rough.
Yeah.
You're not a hustler.
You got to find their
No.
clowns up on the wall and then cross them out and write a K next to it.
What about Juggalo noodles? Where are those?
Yeah,
Huh.
you would think that would be, maybe they sell them at the gathering or they give them away.
Maybe-
I don't
maybe
know.
so.
Maybe it's part of
Yeah.
Violent J's barbecue beach bash blast.
Cook them in Fago.
Sure. Why not? Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Arctic Sun flavored noodles.
Matt from Maine. Jeff has recently been on a rampage saying non-interactive entertainment is awful.
Fucking A.
Movies and TV shows I get, but do books count as non-interactive entertainment? Would the action of turning a page count as a base level interaction?
I wish I had time.
not totally
I think
wrong.
my problem with books is I wish I had more time to read more books. I would read more books. I have a stack of books
Yeah,
that I have not gotten to,
same.
and it's frustrating.
I like reading books, but it is a time commitment for sure.
Yeah.
As are video games,
Yeah.
turns out.
But if you're going to be looking at a screen, why not do shit with the stuff that's on the screen? That's all I'm saying.
It's fair.
Take that, Watchmen.
Shall we wind this down? I've got a couple that are based on photos that were sent in that are quite amusing, but
Mm.
it's kind of hard to show those
That's-
off. Maybe we'll table those for now.
Okay.
How about we got a lot of emails about East 17.
What is that? A Juggalo Street Gang?
It is now.
Okay.
That is the British boy band that someone wrote in about
right.
with the Christmas tree
Okay.
lighting ceremony.
Yeah, yeah. Is it all people who know them or
no? But
okay.
some of
The
them do
members?
have personal
yeah, did they?
experiences.
Yes. How many members of E17 wrote in?
17 of them.
None.
Oh.
I googled some photos of that band though, and man,
How many turtlenecks?
it's not that kind of boy band. It's very much not that kind of. Here, let me. Chris from Liverpool. I just wanted to give you a little more context about East 17 in the UK. We heard this last week, but they were a bad boy band to oppose the likes of Take That and Boyzone.
Boyzone.
You've already heard their most famous song, Stay Another Day, which is synonymous with Christmas as a staple song overplayed every year on the radio. Their music video shows them acting like bad boys, which is completely the opposite to the sound of the song. Fun fact, one of the members, Brian Harvey, once ran over himself and shattered his pelvis after he was gorging on jacket potatoes, felt sick while driving, leaned out to be sick, and fell under the car while moving at speed.
That's yes.
Like 6 different people wrote in with versions of that exact
Did he get an ASBO?
anecdote. I really couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Unreal.
What's a jacket potato?
I think it's potato wedges.
Okay.
I think.
That sounds right.
I'll take your word for it.
That email was full of a lot of whilst instead of while.
Oh,
and,
sure.
And lent instead of leaned that I
Yeah.
kind of Americanized, just so you know.
Thank you. for
John
sparing us.
John from Brighton wrote in to say they are named after the postcode or zip code where they're from, and also recounted the tale of Brian Harvey running over himself. And finished by saying drugs may have been involved.
No. What?
Although in his version of the telling, it is a baked potato.
Okay.
Oh shit.
But here
So maybe we're wrong about what jacket potatoes are, but also
It could be
I don't know.
drugs.
Maybe we're
who the
poking
fuck
holes
eats
in
a
this.
baked potato in a car?
while driving, got me.
He would have to be fucked up.
Yeah.
Seriously. Well, wait till you see these guys. Here is an email from Josh in Baltimore. In the 90s, I lived in the Deep South, and one day in high school, we got word of a special assembly. Glad for any excuse not to be in class, we all got ushered into the theater to watch a performance by several annoying British young men several years our senior. They played a few songs none of us had ever heard of, and no one that I talked to had ever heard of them, which makes sense as this was the Deep South. After the weird performance, they let students wait to get promotional items signed instead of going back to class. So, of course, my friends and I waited. When East 17 appeared, they were total assholes and definitely thought we all knew who they were. They even tried to take some of the girls back onto their tour bus.
What?
Girls who were certainly underage, mind you, as this was a high school on a school day.
Oh my God.
I remember the vice principal having to gently pry them off of one of my fellow students. We laughed about this for weeks, and I never heard a thing about this band again until this week's Bombcast. Amazing to find out that 20 plus years later, they are still playing Christmas tree lightings, just hopefully not at high schools.
Oh my God.
Huh.
So, yeah,
Gross.
there you go. That's,
Bad boys.
I mean, I really, again, JPEGs on a podcast, but I just have
That's
to.
my podcast.
do you have any images of this dude running himself over in his car?
I don't know. We should
No.
figure out which one he is, but this is real
Bad Boys for Life?
hard looking.
Okay.
One of them has his shirt off.
Yeah.
He's the baddest boy.
That's
Uh-huh.
very tough.
Yeah.
He's a karate man.
That's right. Leaning, a lot of shaved heads, scowls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely what I think of when I think Christmas music,
Yeah.
for sure. All right.
Jacket potatoes.
Jacket potatoes.
Did a quick Google search.
Yeah.
It is a baked potato,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
which makes that story even weirder.
I'm trying to
I-
envision like a handheld baked potato
Yeah, how do you do
scenario.
that?
I could totally see like if you're trying to eat a baked potato and drive a car, I could see fucking up and falling out of the car.
Yeah.
Like, because that is hard.
Yeah, unless like he let go of the steering wheel because he was using a fork to eat it.
Yeah, because
And then-
how would you? I mean, yeah,
think
you're
you
just gonna
chomp
like take a
it.
big
I think
hunkin'
you-
bite out of it.
Yeah, I think you do that.
Get
Just
chives
make-
all over your fucking face. What are you doing?
I mean, that depends how you eat a baked potato, whether or not you eat the skin or not.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, I mean, if you just completely waste it, I could see, maybe that thing's like slathered in like butter and cheese and bacon.
He
Slippery.
lubed himself up and
Yeah.
Just cramming that thing in your. That sounds like bad news. Don't do that. Don't do as East 17 does.
That reminds me of a billboard I saw that had a picture of a car and it said, "The world's most dangerous restaurant."
What was the restaurant?
The car.
the car.
Oh.
Like,
Oh,
don't
oh,
eat. It was
oh,
like,
yeah,
it was like,
public
it
service
was like,
thing?
don't, yeah, it was like,
Oh,
don't
fine,
eat in the
okay.
fucking car.
Yes, sure.
can't tell me what to do.
Exactly.
It's the place I eat the most.
I will eat this baked potato.
That sounds terrible. All right. Bombcast at giantbomb.com.
Running yourself over when you're in your own car. That's happened. Someone
Shattered his pelvis.
Yeah, that's oof. Someone passed away from that
Recently, yeah. It reminded me.
It was like they were at the gate to their home or the gate of someone else's house.
Are you thinking of Anton Yelchin, the guy who was in the first Star Trek?
Yes.
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 Yeah,
That is what I'm thinking
something
of.
happened where
Yes.
the car
fell out
of
of park and yeah.
and rolled back on him or something like that.
I don't think he was eating a baked potato.
Oh, probably not.
It was a jacket potato.
Sorry.
I just Googled the aforementioned potato eater / car driver
Yeah.
faller outer of.
He invented
appears to-
ghost riding the whip. Let's fucking call it like it is.
yeah, sure.
He's a pioneer.
I don't know.
He suffered for his art.
He seems to be okay-ish. I don't know. He looks to be ambulatory in
Yeah,
these
well,
in these pictures. So I guess
Get your pelvis shattered. You can put it back together again.
I guess he's all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, All right. Thanks to everybody who wrote in. That's it for emails.
Okay.
For now. There's always more where that came from,
Oh no.
as you will discover.
What is the jacket?
One week
the
hence.
jacket potato.
I don't know.
Is the-
Could
is
it
it
be the
foil?
skin?
The skin.
It's, maybe skin.
Oh, okay.
I would have thought the skin, but I guess it could be the foil.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was thinking.
Huh.
But skin makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing covering up. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It's probably skin.
It's probably the skin, the potato skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all like potato skin?
I like
Yeah, sure.
It's where all the nutrients is.
I just don't like baked potatoes that much.
They have their place.
Doesn't
Yeah,
that
they
baked
do.
potato appeal. They're made with potatoes and skins that are real.
All right, I'm back on board.
Preferred baked potato configuration.
Just some sour cream and
Not
cheese,
the first time
Some
I've seen
chives.
it.
yeah, some
It's
chives.
kind of the steakhouse
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
What about like baked beans?
Mm.
Or like what about like a black beans and shredded cheese? You know, something like that.
Oh, on a
On a
potato?
potato?
Yeah, on a
Ooh,
potato, man.
Ooh, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like chili?
Like chili.
Some
or
full-on
like a
chili?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a chili.
On a potato?
Yeah.
This can all be assembled at a Wendy's.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right. We got to get to Wendy's then.
Let's go.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody for joining us then.
That's right. You're
We'll
welcome.
have some stuff this week.
Right. There's some games out. We're
Yes.
going to look at some of that stuff.
Yes.
Your Phoenix points and whatnot.
Yes. we will be continuing to work on some Game of the Year stuff.
That's right.
But we will have some things
I love things.
on the website this week.
Great.
Stay tuned for that
Okay.
and for another episode of this podcast next week. We'll see you then.